I've got no strings, they're gonna be holding me down. Nobody controlling me now, can somebody turn up the sound? I gotta be loud to be clear, to properly fight the puppeteers. Lyrical bombardier, verbally at the tip of the spear. I wanna make sure it's loud, they better be speakers that pound. For rocking and shaking the ground, we're praying the lost will be found. Some people keep buying these schemes, had one too many vaccines. We're gonna expose the machine, help others cut off the strings. They're making problems to solve, but never with issues at all. Hegelian dialectic rhetoric is their protocol. Redefining right and wrong, they wanna string you along. People are followers like sheeple to the pipe of song. They're undermining what's real and they're dividing ideals. We're on the battlefield, so grab your sword and your shield. It's time we all take a stand and start to make some demands. Begin examining the masterminds, exposing their plans. They want you to do as you're told, identical clones in the fold. Systematically controlled to keep you mentally dull. They wanna control how you think, they want you blind and hoodwinked. To take two diametrically opposing sides to the brink. We're at the edge of our seats in confrontational teams. Disinformation that persuades us when we really want peace. They wanna control the two sides and then create a divide, while behind the scenes they're robbing every one of us blind. First they cause a panic, blowing up some problem. Next they get dramatic, creating a reaction. Then they get fanatics, pushing government solutions. Order out of chaos, controlling the confusion. First they cause a panic, blowing up some problem. Next they get dramatic, creating a reaction. Then they get fanatics, pushing government solutions. Order out of chaos, controlling the confusion. Black versus white, they want the streets against gays. They want girls against guys, divide the red and blue states. They're covering up the real battle and the war going on. The principalities behind it all to string them along. Legions of demons patrol, possessing so many souls. The masterminds of puppeteers, the ones behind the control. You better get in a fence, you can't just sit on the fence. Decide right now what side you're on and let the battle commence. Cause there's a line in the sand, and yes, the time is at hand. You can't stand between the canyon of the goat and the lamb. We've all been given free will to take the red and blue pill, to choose the path that we will take, decide what's actually real. Recognize the divide so you can see through the lies, and take some time to think about where you'll end up when you die. Is that a question you ask? Is that an answer you know? Are you prepared to take your chances? Are you ready to go? So check your person right now, see who's controlling your strings. Are you a puppet like Pinocchio, led by the machine? Have you bought into their plans and given in to demands? A planet branded by their evil landed right in their hands, and their agenda is clear, the earth will soon disappear unless we form a one-world government to mitigate fear. The evil tactics that are meant to leave you panicked and scared, so they can sell you what they made before the problem appeared. First they cause a panic, blowing up some problem. Next they get dramatic, creating a reaction. Then they get fanatics, pushing government solutions. Order out of chaos, controlling the confusion. First they cause a panic, blowing up some problem. Next they get dramatic, creating a reaction. Then they get fanatics, pushing government solutions. Order out of chaos, controlling the confusion.
What exactly would you say if your child looked up at you and asked you about God, and if He exists and if He's true, and wondered what would happen when someone dies? Is there a heaven? And what about that man up on the cross? Am I forgiven? How exactly would you answer those hopeful little eyes when you're college educated and convinced it's all a lie? Sure, you went to Sunday school when you were young, but that was then. You're above those simple thoughts now. The only God you know is man. Are you saddened and ashamed to tell this little soul that you don't believe in anything and have no reason and no hope? There's no heaven and no meaning, there's no purpose to our lives. That you believe we're just evolved, random mutations come alive. You know better than an insect, son, and when you die, that's it. I've learned through education that good and bad just don't exist. It's all just evolution, it's survival of the fittest. And we can get you a prescription when your life becomes depressed. I'm sorry that I've crumbled all your hopes and all your dreams. but it's time you realize that life's not what it seems. Are you lost? Are you alone? Are you convinced that life does not make sense? Have you forgotten that God even exists? Have you replaced all that was real for a life of benefits and created your own truth? A happy atheist. Are you lost? Are you alone? Are you convinced that life does not make sense? Have you forgotten that God even exists? Have you replaced all that was real for a life of benefits and created your own truth? A happy atheist. You realize your answers could just shatter all these dreams and everything that ever mattered to this precious little being who had belief in certain peace and received that inner voice inside his conscience, and his conscious mind believed. And it sickens you to think, cause you've been driven by your ego and your greed, and he sees it. You don't practice what you preach. You've lost your dignity, and you've succeeded in destroying all belief and defeated all his real hopes and dreams. They might never be retrieved, and the flame within his heart almost completely is extinguished, and the holes within his soul are filled with mimics, and the message of God's grace within his mind has been diminished, because the answers that you gave him took a piece of his existence, and the power of your words were unforeseen, and in that very moment you destroyed the very purpose of his being. And now he's lost, he's alone, and he's convinced that life does not make sense, and he's forgotten that God even exists. He's replaced all that was real for a life of counterfeits and created his own truth. A happy atheist. Are you lost? Are you alone? Are you convinced that life does not make sense? Have you forgotten that God even exists? Have you replaced all that was real for a life of counterfeits and created your own truth? A happy atheist. Are you lost? Are you alone? Are you convinced that life does not make sense? Have you forgotten that God even exists? Have you replaced all that was real for a life of benefits and created your own truth? A happy atheist.
We live in a world where many people are influenced. They listen to demons constantly. That's what's influencing them. They don't even understand. They think it's their own mind and their own thoughts, but they don't understand that there's demons speaking to them and leading everything they do. That's why the only way to break free is to follow Jesus. Because the whole world is in this spiritual evil darkness. And they're constantly being influenced by forces that they don't see.
I have this reoccurring dream, I'm on a battleground with bullets whizzing by my head, the bombs are all around. I'm trying to fight the enemy, but they're invisible. No place to run and hide, extremely inhospitable. A barren land that's treacherous and perilous. Malicious villains all around me that are merciless. It's a hazardous environment that's sinister. I feel like Jonah in the whale, like I'm a prisoner. It's just like him, my weapons are not physical. My arsenal consists of powers that are spiritual. I got a sling and stone to face all of my giants. Even if I'm all alone, trapped in a den of lions, I can count on God to get me out of anything. I can trust his word over absolutely everything. No matter what the battle is, he is more powerful. Shatter any obstacles thought to be impossible. He can humble nations who think they are infallible. Crumble city walls like in the days of Jericho. You want a fighting chance? Then dig into the biblical. This battle's for your own eternal soul, and the time is getting critical. Sometimes life is just like on the movie screen. Sometimes life is just like in a scary dream. Sometimes life is thinking what comes after death. Cause sometimes life is taking in your last breath. Sometimes life is just like on the movie screen. Sometimes life is just like in a scary dream. Sometimes life is thinking what comes after death. Cause sometimes life is taking in your last breath.
What do we do
All right,
now?
let's try
Oh,
that.
okay. Here I am,
That
everybody.
really
We got
messed everything up.
we had a teeny little hiccup backstage, but hello. Happy Thursday. It is Creative Chaos tonight. For anybody that's here that does not know what Creative Chaos is, it is a show dedicated to shining a spotlight on fascinating people creating fantastic things outside the mainstream. And those people are always, they tend to be my favorite kind of people because they're all creatives and they are doing their darndest to have an impact on our shitty culture and start bringing things back to like a decent temperature, back to like basically when America was cool, or even, any part of the Western world was cool, really. So that's what Creative Chaos is about. I bring on awesome people. We talk, we have a good time. So if it's your first time here, welcome. I haven't seen anybody say what's up in chat. So if you're out there lurking, I have 14 people watching right now. Say hello in chat, please. I'd love to shout you out. All right. So I also have a co-host, so let's bring him out.
Howdy.
The Batman.
Sorry, I jumped the gun, I guess, or I was late getting here. I'm working in the house, trying to get my laundry done, and I only come home like once a week now to do that, basically, until we finalize the things here. So
So it's almost
just
like
made it in.
you're like you're reliving like your first time out of the house living experience.
College days, kind of without
College
college,
days, yes.
or the girls, or the cars.
You have a girl.
I do have a girl, yes, but she's unfortunately out of town. So I'm without a girl presently.
Yeah, but
She's,
I mean, considering it's an international girl, you guys do see each other a lot.
we do. I can't complain. We do see each other a lot.
So that's fantastic. How's your week been?
Busy, thank God. Just keeps me out of trouble.
Good. Idle hands.
This is true.
Yes,
How you doing? The
I'm pretty
campaign's going
good.
strong.
I was able to actually grab a nap this afternoon. I am not a napper, but I did today because I didn't get much sleep last night, and there was a couple hours till the show was going to start, and I've just been going nonstop because besides what we talked about last week, basically, remember a promo section? We're doing a whole bunch of stuff.
Right.
So we've got a live campaign, and we're also mailing out volume 24, and we're also wrapping up volume 25. And we also just launched we're going to get to this in the promo section, but we launched the Flip Cities Madness collaborative draw stream. There's just been so much going on that I haven't been sleeping a ton. Oh, and also we're traveling. We're leaving on Monday, and we're just going up north. So 7-hour drive. We're taking my mother-in-law. It's going to be a good time. So next week I will be broadcasting from an undisclosed Northern California location.
I hope you got an Airbnb with good Wi-Fi.
I think I did. See, that's the thing. I actually really love planning traveling, but it takes me a while because I look for the best deals, the best houses, everything that I
Same
possibly
way.
can. So it takes me a while, and I think I picked a pretty good house. I just booked it today. So we'll see. Maybe I'll do a tour if it's really that cool of a house. Maybe I'll walk around with my laptop.
That'd be cool.
Anyway, so
Wait,
yeah.
before we go any further, we have to ask our family out there. Hello, Vulcan Lives, Vulcan
Hi,
Lives.
Vulcan.
You're there. He's there. He's the only one that hit us up in the chat so far. Everybody else is still lurking. But we have to like, subscribe, and share. Ring that bell. And if you're on pill.net, hit the red pill. Let it roll.
Do it. Help us with that algorithm. Everywhere but Pilled and Rumble,
Yep.
we're probably, kind of buried. So that would be very helpful, those likes and shares. Well, you guys, and Bruce definitely knows this because we do it every week. We would not be doing Creative Chaos without our main sponsor and who I represent, Flip City Magazine. And I've got a couple of things tonight. And we're going to start with the Flip City's Madness live draw stream collaboration because that just launched this last Saturday. And I love the idea we came up with. So we came up with the idea for these illustrators to draw classic cartoons in modern day situations. And I'm giving some spoilers away tonight
Nice.
because I want to reward people for watching this stream, and it's going to be, a few, like 3-4 months until this is actually printed and in people's hands. So this is a super duper preview, but I gave that topic to the draw streamers, and we have a couple of images here that have come in. Even though more have come in, I'm only giving 2 away tonight. So let's take a look see. So this is Pebbles, and also the problem of Wilma and Fred, that Pebbles has started an OnlyFans. And
That's
this is
hysterical. That is
it
absolutely hysterical.
it is, and this actually has already caused waves in a private group where it was posted, making somebody leave because they don't like underage characters. But that's the thing. I'm sorry. This is not Pebbles or
No,
Barney or Wilma.
no.
This is like Roxy or something,
Yeah,
because Pebbles is a trademark character.
exactly.
Yep.
Exactly.
So I don't even know what the problem was. It wasn't even Pebbles. That's Roxy. Also, because we're in the middle of this, I just got to say what is up to the pod. And Derek Wayne Mullins from Flix Entertainment popping in and saying,
And Aaron
hello.
Moriarty just stopped in.
Oh, very good. Very good. Oh my goodness. Also, Nick
Weiser.
Weiser, 32 flavors of Nick Weiser. What is up, Nick? Hope you can stick around for the whole show and enjoy it. And hello, Aaron. Okay, cool. People are starting to talk. Hooray. All right, and I've got one more image, and I chose this one because it actually was submitted by our guest tonight. This one cracks me up because that is not Bugs, it's some other character. But very much like Bugs Bunny, this character, he's ignoring the no smoking sign.
It's Harry the Hare.
Okay, Harry the Hare, that works for
Harry the
me,
Hare.
at least for the moment. But it's very much in Harry the Hare's personality to totally ignore the sign because he doesn't give a fuck, right?
Absolutely.
All right, so there's a couple of spoilers from the draw stream. Anybody that's been sticking around, seeing what we're doing with that, the way the draw stream works is we gather a group of people, give them a topic, they draw on it, and then when we publish it, we write humorous write-ups to go along with them. And this is going to be a process. In about 2.5 months after all the submissions have come in, we open a poll for public voting for your favorite, and the one that wins the poll gets a 1/4 page size ad run in the same volume. That this one will be volume 26. That
Are you sharing out the link, the website link?
No.
Why don't
No. Well, because I would need to type and I'm talking and that's too
Well,
much.
I can type if you tell me the website.
It's themeg.tv. That's where the poll will be hosted in a couple of months. So go to themeg.tv.
No backslash?
Nothing. Just put in themeg.tv and it will take you there. And you'll see all kinds of other stuff besides Flip City there. It is the Madness Comic Network, and it's a network of people that put shows on, much like Creative Chaos. And we get together and do all kinds of fun stuff.
All right. Sounds like a plan.
So there's that. And then we're just going to do a quick check on the Flip City campaign that's running right now. We've got volume 25 up on Fund My Comic. We only have 9 days to go, and we're not even at 50%. My Lord, what are we going to do? Will we ever make goal? I don't know. but I certainly hope we do because this is going to be a hilarious issue. We've got three different parodies. We've got a Superman parody called Simperman. We've got a parody of the Silver Surfer. I don't recall the title at this very moment. And then also we're parodying the bear. And besides that, you get all kinds of other really fun stuff like guest appearances made by Jim Bob and Joey B. Tunes. We've got comic strips, full page, and just classic strips. We've got the world's most based crossword. That in itself is going to give you 6 to 7 hours of entertainment until you get so frustrated that you just tear the magazine up and then say, "Oh my God, what did I do? I forgot to read the rest of it." And then you'll just have to come back and buy another edition. That's okay with me. Get mad, tear it up. And then I love this. At the very bottom, we actually have a small promo of what people say about Flip City Magazine. And there's some heavy hitters and they're saying really, really awesome stuff about it. So when you go check out the campaign at fundbycomic.com/FlipCity23, you are scroll down to the bottom and see what other people say and see what in a couple of recognizable influences say about Flip City as well because they love us. There's a reason they love us too. Well, we've been
Absolutely.
oh
Absolutely. What's not to love? You guys are great.
yeah.
You're taking current events and you're turning them on their heads. And since we live in an upside down world, you're actually making sense of the stupidity.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna have to clip that and put it on my YouTube. And then also, I don't have any quotes from you. I can't believe I don't have an official quote. That was a pretty good one.
Take it, run with it, and we can repeat it another day, and you're just gonna have to record it, and so I know what I said. I can
Yeah.
say it again.
Well, it's easy to clip short, so I will definitely do
I,
that.
I, I remember. I mean, it's very simple how you take the reality of today and you turn it on its head. And since we're already living in an upside down, bizarro world, you're making things more understandable and uprighting us.
I guess you could say that,
All
but
right. Well, I
sometimes
just did a second
we get
time.
so outrageous that then people cancel it because they think we're just insane. All
Not at
right.
all. Not at all. Everybody laughs at it. Come on. How could you not? I mean, unless you're suffering from TDS, there's really no way you can't laugh at something in the magazine. And there's so much to read. It's not just one story like a comic book. It's actually all these little shorts, all these different artists and writers doing their spin and their spoof on the upside down world we live in today.
Thank you so much, Bruce. I love when people say positive things about the magazine. And I love that that's my job to like beat it out of people to say nice things.
So wait, I got a suggestion that'll enhance the magazine even more.
What's that?
You know these competitions you've been having, the draw streams?
Mm-hmm.
You should add them to the magazine down the road, like make them part of the part of the magazine. All the artists that have drawn something
Mm-hmm.
go in the magazine down the road, the next issue or the next issue after the contest is over. So you're showing off their work to other people, and then you can say, "This is the winner. Check out his ad on page blah."
Oh, well, that's actually pretty interesting. Because we have done in the past, and I don't think we've done one in maybe about a year, is an artist spotlight of people that so we already have a space and a brand is a section in the
Yeah,
magazine to do it. So thank you for reminding me that we can do something like that because that would even sweeten the pot even more. Well,
absolutely.
thank you,
And
Madness
Madness Comic
Comic
Networks.
Network, for rating us over on Pilled. All right. Enough about us, enough about me. Thank you for all your kind words. It is time for us to bring in a really rad dude. My guest tonight, he is residing between heaven and hell. And his name's Kurt Parker, and he's a freedom loving pureblood. We know what that means. Wink. And over the past 3 years, he's been publishing a book per year in his Between Angels and Demons series. His current book, Intervention, is a prelude to his previous two. Let's take a look at this badass trailer I watched today, and we'll meet Kurt on the other side.
Sorry about that, guys. Producer's mistake.
We
Wrong
are
video.
gonna watch it. Hi, Kurt. Though we'll see you on the other side.
Howdy, Kurt. Good to see you, bro.
What's up?
Oh, cause
Hang
we
it in
are
there.
gonna be able to run it though, right?
Give me just 1 second
He's lining
here.
it up.
I'm
lining
getting
it
it
up.
ready. Hang on.
All good.
Everybody
right.
Looking
calm
forward to
down.
seeing it, Kurt.
Everybody calm down.
Good to see you, Bruce. The real Batman.
All
The real
The
life
real
Batman.
Batman.
The
Yes,
real
indeed.
life Batman.
Let's try it this way.
Have mercy on us.
Really great trailer, Kurt.
Thanks. Thank you.
Kind of reminded me a little bit of Preacher.
Yeah.
Right?
That,
Future.
that vibe. Somewhat. Other people mentioned Sin City, kind of.
Yeah. Okay. I
Um,
see it. Yeah, but
that-
the demon-eyed nun really caught me off. I was like, whoa.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the main antagonist of the story, but it's she's kind of hidden. She's not in the forefront. It's kind of later. So, anyways, good to see you guys and gals.
It's fantastic to see you, and you've got your campaign live right
Yeah.
now on
Yeah.
Indiegogo. I dropped the link in chat, but for anybody
Cool.
that is, watching later,
Mhm.
it's also in the description of the video. Is Indiegogo the only place people can back right now?
Right now, yes. The plan is this is like a test because word around the campfire over the last few years is Indiegogo can be a little tricky sometimes, and there's a lot of pro and a lot of against. And I've never done it because the last two campaigns was Fund My Comic, and I love them. I actually feel guilty I'm not using them right now because I got so used to Fund My Comic. But I'm like, well, I got to check out Indiegogo for myself. Let's just see what this is all about. So so far so good. It's cool. But the plan is, if I'm hoping this will get, we'll reach the goal by the end of the month, and then if so, it can go, in demand for a little bit, basically to buy me time to finish the book, and then I can end it. And then once the book is finished and printed and sent out, I'll probably go to Fund My Comic and do a second chance campaign. So
Fantastic. Yeah.
That's the
I
plan.
did see that on your campaign that's your plan. You set a
Yeah.
lower goal, but your plan is to then go I don't know, do they call it in demand or something like that?
See, and again, I'm new at the Indiegogo thing. Like, Fund My Comic doesn't offer a mailing list. And Indiegogo is like, oh, mailing list. And I'm like, how the hell does this work? You know what I mean? So I'm figuring out Indiegogo as I'm doing it, and and their terminology is different. You know, they call perks instead of like tiers, and I'm just like, okay. And so the this Indigo this in demand, from what it seems like, I guess, is if you hit your goal, you can then decide to keep funding, and that's what people do. You know, they'll go a year, 2 or 3 years funding. They'll just keep going and going and going. For me, I just want to fund until the book's done, and then I can, pull it and say, book's done. Here you go. Look for it next week. That's my plan.
Okay, yeah, fantastic. Because also, just so you guys know, Kurt set his goal at 500. It always does feel good to hit goal, which you're really close to.
Right.
I think you have less than $100 to make, but $500 does not actually make a book.
I mean, it's nice to have more. Actually, this whole, I have like a college degree on funding, on crowdfunding and indie comics community, all this stuff. Because like the last 3-4 years that I've been involved, I've mostly just been watching and learning and taking notes and stuff. And a lot of the really successful big guys, they always set 500. They say set minimum. It's easy to hit, and then you can just keep going. And so I'm like, okay, well, it works for them. And since I'm like a ghost practically, I'm so new at this, I'm like a nobody. I'm like, yeah, I think I'll set it that. And that way it's easier to hit the goal so you can keep the campaign going, as opposed to saying, oh, I'll set it for 5,000. Well, if you miss your goal, you're out, you're done. So I'm
right.
like, it's almost like a safety catch. You know what I mean? So anyways, that's why I just said, okay, I'll do what they do. And so that's what I'm doing.
Yeah. And hey, Kurt, something also that because it is very rare actually that I have people back on Creative Chaos. Everybody like comes on once and is like, oh, hell no, I'm not coming back. So
oh man,
I kid,
okay.
but
I love this show.
I'm glad you came back. But something that I discovered, because I was curious today, I searched my calendar because I'm like, oh, how long ago was it that Kurt came on? And it was exactly 6 months ago, December 5th. Yes.
Really?
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
I knew I was trying to remember, like, was it like end of last year, beginning of this year? Because I remember, because it was a great show, and I'm like, has it been that long? I didn't bother checking, but that's cool. 6 months to the day. That works.
6 months to the day. And I'm not sure if we had this segment. I think we did. We do like to get to know our guests with Fanboy for Us. Even if you've done it, you're going to do it again because it is more for the audience as well.
Right.
So, Bruce, are you ready to do Fanboy for Us so we get to know Kurt?
Absolutely. We've done it before and we'll do it again.
Perfect.
His answers may have changed too.
They may.
Let's find out.
All right. If you remember, like last time, we want you to just right off the top of your head, whatever favorite we ask of you, just spill it out. Tell us the first thing that comes to your mind.
Cool.
Movie.
My favorite movie? The original Star Wars.
Okay.
Most impactful. I was really little. It hit me like most kids and changes everything. So, and it's still cool, man. You can watch it now and it's still cool. So
it is still cool. I still enjoy it, and I'm not even like part of like that culture, but I still like that. Are you talking about the first 3 or just the very first Star Wars?
Well, now it's called Star Wars: A New Hope, Episode 4. But
it's really the first one.
Old timers, old schoolers refer to it as the first one because it was
1977.
Right.
Yep. I remember waiting online with my mom and a couple of my friends on a Saturday afternoon.
Yeah.
We got there an hour early and stood online and waited.
That's cool, man. That's cool.
Bruce, I'm sorry because you said online. I had to tell you, when you went to the inauguration, you were saying online. I started thinking that it was another Mandela effect, that people always called it online. because it's in line. It's in line in a lot of, you stand in line. And then I found out it's an East Coast thing. Anyway, go on.
Standing online is an East Coast thing.
Yeah. People
Instead of
don't say
standing
that
in line?
around. Yeah, you stand in line most other places in the United States.
Well, when we go to concerts, we stand on a line to get into the show. Anyway, so the first Star Wars, the original,
Yeah.
I have to ask you, because I look at it differently now that Mark Hamill went full retard,
Yeah.
and so I don't look at it the same way all the way through now. It's like I watch it and all I think about is, you're a dumbass.
And you probably also notice every time he's a little pussy bitch. Like when he's whining to Yoda, you're like, shut up.
Yeah, but I look at it in a whole different light. But
You know what's sad? I haven't watched it in years, since 4 or 5, because they fucking Disney they just
ruin everything.
So it starts creeping into your memories. Your childhood. I'm like, you fuckers aren't taking my childhood memories. So I got that. And back then, up until 2010s, 2015s, it was still, everything was still cool movie wise, Hollywood wise, because goddamn social media, I swear it's the worst thing for society. I know this is social media right now. It has a lot of benefits, but man, it has ruined a lot of things, and it killed the Star Wars franchise, which to me was like, it's like sacrilegious to do that, because it was one of the, and this is weird coming from me, if you know my work, but it was one of the few non-sexualized stories. There was no, like nothing even almost remotely flirty. It was not adult like at all. It was very, he was able to keep it like PG without, with the exception of Leia in the bikini, right, in Jedi. But I was just, it was a nice relief that it was that kind of pure in a way. And then of course, social media ruins it. People start, these artists start doing drawings of naked Jedi chicks, and it just slowly, and I mean, I saw this in the 2010s, and I'm like, you sick bastards, why are you doing this? It's not, Star Wars is not a sexual thing. There's nothing about it that's
Wait, hold on.
They devolve very quickly.
Yeah.
But what about that really insanely sexy, like Jabba the Hutt bikini?
Well, I mentioned that,
That's
Princess
what we're
Leia in the
talking
bikini. That was it. And think about it, that was the third movie. The first two films, I mean, it's very pure, puritanical almost. You know what I mean? There's like no, even, I mean, think about like when Han and Leia kiss. I mean, it's just a kiss. They don't grope each other. It's like very adolescent.
It was biblical. It was
Innocent.
biblical in the fact that they kept it very placid. There was no
Clean.
no heavy pettings. No. It was clean. It was fun entertainment.
Yeah. And I actually, that's one of the only films that I appreciate that, because I actually usually won't see a movie unless there's all the crazy crap, all the adult stuff. I love profanity and nudity and violence and explosions and all the adult stuff. But that's why I love Star Wars so much, because it was like that escape. It was that break from all that. And they've just ruined it. And then when you find out about the actors, what they really think and how they really are, it just kills it even more. And it just keeps happening more and more, to the point where I'm like, man, I'm afraid to watch the original, because everything I know now, I don't want it to affect how I see it. You know what I mean? So I don't know.
No, it's, if you watch it now, you will look at it with a different set of glasses, 100%.
Yeah.
Just because of the people in it. Like, I look at the Batman the Animated Series now in a whole new light,
Right.
because the Joker has the Joker has truly become the Joker. It's like Mark Hamill has gone full retard on us, and it's just insane.
Yeah.
So he plays himself, as that part. It's just crazy.
Yeah. It was like I said, when things were better, when we didn't, when we didn't know that much about the actors and actresses, when we didn't hear their opinions, you know what I mean? Like, when I was a kid, the big deal was the like the Sunday morning newspapers, God, what was that section? Like the paparazzi section. You know what I'm talking about? Do you guys have that?
The entertainment section in the New York Times.
Like little colored newspaper in the newspaper, and it was like, photos of, we caught Mel Gibson on the sidewalk smoking on his way to whatever. You know what I mean? First of all, I love those photos because they were candid as shit. And you see, this is how, look, he really wears cowboy boots. I remember Mel Gibson because I got into cowboy boots as a kid, and his whole Lethal Weapon thing, long hair, cowboy boots and jeans. So of course I wore that as a kid because I want to be just like him. You know what I mean? And there he was walking on the street, smoking a cigarette, and he's wearing cowboy boots. And I'm like, he really does wear them. It's not just his character. Cool. You know what I mean? And that's just one memory I have. But you would see all these actors and actresses, on the street or wherever, and that was it. They weren't spouting off their beliefs and opinions and crap. You know what I mean? And this is where social media has just kind of just destroyed that industry. It sucks.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm not sure if Bruce is still here, or if I'm supposed to ask the next question.
I am. I'm sorry. I'm in the middle of a show and I get interrupted for silliness, but it's okay. I think that, everything we do has an impact, and Disney taking away the Puritan version of what we saw to be now what we see on, like Doc Blaylock was busting chops. All that muff munching in Acolyte and Ahsoka was just a bridge too far. I mean,
it shouldn't be in Star Wars. None of that should be in Star Wars.
No, not at all. Star Wars is the kids' book you want your grandchildren to read when they're able to.
Right. And didn't Lucas even compare it to like a fairy tale? I know it's like fantasy. It really is so old school, basic fairy tale fantasy. Good versus evil, religion. There's a lot of religion in it. People don't realize, it's not really, there's a lot of religion in it. You know what I mean? And that's, to me, it's like when it comes to storytelling and just subjects, that's, to me, is like all those things are pure. Fairy tales, fantasy, all that is, and there's plenty of dark stuff. That's all I do. I love the dark stuff. I love it. It's just, if that's all there is.
Look at your comic. Look at your comic.
Yeah, man. But if that's all there is, then it sucks.
But that's where they've taken us. That's where they've taken us. They've taken us down the dark side. And there's a lot of us, you talk about the conspiracy theorists or the Q-tards or whatever you want to call yourself, right? They've taken us, society as a whole, down a very dark path.
Right.
We're looking to seek the light, okay? Right. We want the light. And that's part of why, when we look back at these movies, Star Wars is your perfect example of a Puritan era when we as kids got to enjoy an entertainment, the way it was meant to be.
Our innocence. And ironically, life imitates art imitates life, because you just said, we've been, and everyone knows if you read the news or, are not living in a cave, that it's gotten darker in the last few years. Things are really screwed up. You guys are just mentioning the world's upside down. Everyone knows it. What does that remind you of Star Wars? The balance of the Force, the balance between good and evil. It's imbalanced. It's out of whack right now. Just even from the story point of view, the whole Force is the balance of light and darkness. And this goes back to the beginning of time, man, is that struggle between good versus evil and the light and the dark and heaven and hell. And that's where my subject comes in. But Star Wars had that.
That was when I looked at your comic, when I saw your preview, that's exactly what I wrote. Good versus dark evil.
Yeah.
Dude, we're in sync on that. Absolutely.
And in Star Wars, even though, he doesn't mention actual God and all, he doesn't come out and say, this is actually a lot of religious stuff, and he shouldn't, because it's a long time ago in a galaxy far and away. That stuff, those phrases don't exist. Christianity and all this, Jesus Christ, that doesn't exist. Although it was interesting how in Phantom Menace, angels came up. That threw me. Remember that? You don't remember that, do you? Well, that hit me
No.
like a ton of bricks.
Which one was it?
The Phantom Menace, episode 1. When Anakin is talking, when he first meets Padme, what does he ask her? Are you an angel? And she's like, what? And he's
Oh,
like, an
yeah.
angel. It's this species, this alien. And I was like, no way. That is badass that Lucas actually has angels in Star Wars. But he made them an alien species, which, you know, plenty of theories on that. But anyways, the whole imbalance of the Force, we're seeing it today. And it's
Oh,
funny
we're
how
living it.
we're living it.
living
And
it.
it's not just in the film industry, because Hollywood has just gotten so corrupt and it's screwed up. But it's everywhere, man. It's obviously politics and where everything. It's like it's saturated everywhere, man, and it sucks.
I got to tell you, you talk about, you know, the good versus evil and
Yeah.
how we're living the Phantom Menace right now, you know,
Yeah,
with or the Manchurian Candidate or
right.
whatever movie association or reference you want to make.
Hmm.
Are we not living a movie right now?
Lots of people, some of the smartest people say it.
And it's the good versus dark evil, as you said.
Yeah.
And I mean, you know, without going into Abramovich and Pizzagate and all that
I
other
know.
crazy
Right.
crap, right?
Right.
I'm
So
like,
we're not even going that way. We're just saying in general,
Yeah.
the dark evil and just the crap they've put us through.
Yeah.
You know, COVID. Okay, now
Yeah.
it's turned out to be. Now they're admitting it was the biggest con in
Yeah.
the world,
Right. Right.
next to the Spanish flu or whatever that
Mhm.
was, right?
you guys, we're flipping the show upside down. We're already in conspiracy corner. We still have to talk about Kurt's book.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to go down that path. We still haven't even finished Fanboy for us.
No, we're literally on the
The
first
rabbit hole.
question.
That we literally got sucked down the rabbit hole. I am so
That's
sorry.
all right.
Kurt. I didn't
No,
know-
man, dude, man, I was like throwing I was guiding you down the rabbit hole, brother.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
like, hey, let's just don't worry about my stupid crap. Let's
I
go
think-
on the river.
I think Kurt might be the dark evil of creative chaos tonight.
All right. No, this is great conversation, though. I love this, and thank you for engaging me, because this is the kind of stuff that we ponder, but we don't always speak of. And now that we're able to have a conversation about it,
Yeah.
and you know,
Not be afraid to get whatever the channel yanked or flagged or
Exactly.
whatever the hell stupid
Exactly.
ass punishment that they were doing 3-4 years ago. It's ridiculous, dude.
yeah, absolutely. Until Elon Musk bought Twitter.
Yeah.
I mean, and that whole thing is a ooh, the new shiny, look here. You
Yeah.
really think Trump and Elon Musk are battling each other right now?
Dude,
No.
I'm like, oh, this is a perfect day for this to happen. I'm like, because I get nervous. I don't do shows, at all. But anytime I have to be on cam, it like takes me like 2 hours to focus and get ready, because I hate being on cam. You know what I mean? And so I'm all like, okay, you got this ready and make sure you have plenty of time and blah, 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 blah. And then I start seeing on Twitter this crap between Elon and Trump. And I'm like, I honestly said, I was like, I'm like, in the bathroom fucking shaving. I'm like, is everyone fucking crazy? I'm like, what the fuck is going on? It's like, these two are supposed to be the twin rocks of Gibraltar's for us, for Christ's sakes, right? And now these two are fighting like a couple of high school bitches in public. And I'm just like, you start to think, okay, I have to be insane because everyone else is acting one way and I'm not. So does that make me insane? Or am I like the sane one and everyone else is fucking nuts? You don't know, And so I'm just like,
Yeah, bro, you're
What do you
right on
do?
the money. You're right on the money.
I can't
You know what?
believe it.
It's, first he shows up with a black eye, right? Last
Yeah.
week
Oh,
that
yeah,
he
that's
claims
right.
that he claims his son
His kid, X.
gave him. But what's the initiations into the dark evil ranks?
Oh man.
right?
I don't even want
Black
to go
guy.
down there,
You
dude.
guys, we're getting back into conspiracy
No, I'm
corner.
sorry. I'm sorry.
I'm
I'm
sorry.
sorry.
I'm sorry. I have to moderate
Okay.
the show just a tiny
Okay.
bit
Okay,
because I know
Mom.
you both. I know you both.
I'm
Let's
sorry.
I'm sorry for anybody that was enjoying this conversation. I was, but we just got to get the show back on track.
Okay.
But
So,
Richard,
what's the
Richard,
next question?
Richard said it best. Art imitates life, or art is a glimpse into our future. Like Terminator and drones, we are all living that today.
Yeah.
100%, brother. 100%.
Well, and also Vulcan says a very true thing. It makes you feel like you're the insane one, but we
Yes.
are the sane ones.
I-
But I think it's we all know it because we have so many friends that are of like mind, and by like mind, I do not mean hive mind. It
Right.
literally is people that question
Right.
things. That's
Right.
how we're all of like mind.
Look,
Anyway.
we're living in the matrix. We're seeing through the matrix. We're seeing the code. We see what's going on.
Right.
There is no spoon in my hand.
Right.
You may think there's no pen in my hand. You may think there's a pen, but it's not there.
Yeah. The only good thing, last thing, and then Mom will take over and put the two adolescents back on the path. The one good thing to come out of this is that famous. I love quotes. I'm a quote freak, and the older I get, I like more and more quotes. I start looking them up. Is that what is it? Is it Sun Tzu? May you live in interesting times, dude.
We're living it. We're
We
living
got
it.
it. I mean, it's like no matter how screwed up shit is, I honestly say, you know what though? We are like living history. Fuckers are going to be reading about this when we're dead and dust. 100 years from now. They're going to say, this era of blah, 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 and the richest man on the planet was fighting with the president. Just everything involved. And we're witnessing it, man. We're here living it. It's affecting us.
100%. I'm going to Trump's birthday parade with the military, 250th
Wow.
anniversary of the Army. I'm
No
going to be
way.
there with a handful of other people from podcast groups, just hanging out, watching it and taking it all in. Because we, as you said, are living through
Yeah.
a historic time right now.
You got to live
Next
stream that,
weekend,
man.
I'm there. God bless. I got my tickets.
Can you live
We're on
stream
our
there?
way.
Could you?
I'm sorry?
Could you live stream from there? Or is it not
Well,
allowed?
when I was there for J6, I tried to live stream, but they shut that shit down.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
don't
I
know
figured.
if I'm going to be able to, but I will be videotaping. And,
Cool.
I do my show with Cosmic Grandpa, the Three Beermen. So Sunday night, 7 p.m., the following night, I'm going to be streaming it. I'll probably still be, or I may be on the road. I don't know where I'll be, but I'll
Cool.
be streaming it because I'll have sent video footage to Cosmic Grandpa. So you will see stuff.
Okay.
I'm supposed to meet up with Red Pill Ken from the pilled.net channel and a
Okay.
handful of other people from different podcasts. So there will be some coverage, mostly video footage, but it will air the next day. So
Perfect.
definitely follow us Sunday night, the 15th.
I'm looking forward to seeing
Footage
that.
for sure. It'll be Bruce on the Loose at Trump's birthday parade.
Put your body armor on. Put the Batman suit on and go kick ass.
Oh, that would be rad, actually.
No, no, I hold on. I just watched it. You have to give me a minute here. Hold on real quick.
So how's it going, Christy?
Good. I am enjoying your conversation, and I think I might be taking my mod's advice, saying just let it roll.
Let it roll.
I
Let it roll, baby.
I iron fisted, and now I feel ashamed.
No,
because-
don't. No. I'm just razzing you. Believe me, it's
Okay.
It's cool. What do you got?
I need the audience. I need the audience participation on this, guys. Hold on. I've got this shirt.
I can't tell what that is.
It's Trump.
Oh, I see it now. I see it. Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's not buttoned, but if it's buttoned,
It's the fight.
yeah, hold on.
Yeah.
Actually, the back.
Oh, there you
So
go. Yeah.
So I'm either gonna wear this one,
Uh-huh. Ooh, nice.
this one.
Uh-huh.
It's summertime, and it's gonna be down in DC. It's gonna be warm, so I don't
Yeah,
know
the
if
black.
black's gonna be the way to go. But
Yeah.
then I've got this one.
Ooh, that's nice design, man.
Yeah, this is my favorite of all the Trump shirts, and I've already worn it a couple of times.
Mm.
So I'm debating this should be the one I wear to the parade.
Yeah, I'd say 3, 2, 1, like the opposite of how you showed them. I'd say that
Yeah.
one's probably the best. I do like that black, but like you said, it'll get hot. Like,
Yeah, it's
that's
going to
the-
get
that-
real
like,
steamy.
at night. If it cools down at night, switch to that, man.
Yeah, I could. I could
You
actually,
know?
because we're going to be there for the week, the weekend.
Yeah.
And then this one's just a really cool. I love how it's like an artsy shirt, kind of
Almost
like
like a beach.
kind
Looks like you wear it to the
this,
beach.
Sorry.
And it looks like you wear it to the beach. It almost has a tie-dye look to it.
Right. Exactly. So it's kind of like Scott Lebato's art with
Okay.
with a very esoteric Trump image on it, very surrealistic. But you
Yeah,
get
cool.
it. You see what it is. It's just really cool.
Yeah.
But anyway, so those are my three choices, and I agree. I think the silhouette of Trump with the American flag is the
Mhm.
way to go.
Yeah.
I think that's definitely. I was leaning towards that originally anyway.
It's a sharp design. I like that.
I think that one has the most impact. And Richard likes number 3.
Yeah.
Thank you for your input. Appreciate you.
Cool.
New creative chaos segment. Bruce on the loose.
Well, because Richard said Bruce is loose, and I know you have Bruce on the loose on your 3 Beerman show, but the creative chaos version of Bruce on the loose is letting you do shit like show off your toy collection, and I just need to chill the fuck out and be like, all right, we're gonna look at toys.
I appreciate that, Christy. Thank you. I don't
You
mean to. I don't mean to commandeer the show. That's not what this is about.
No, dude, you are a personality and a half, and it's why I love you as a co-host. And
Thank you.
remember when you used to be my sidekick? Now you're a co-host. You've
Well,
been
thank you.
promoted, I think, for months now.
I appreciate that. I never look at titles. I think titles are very restrictive, but that's a whole other subject, and I don't want to go down that rabbit hole.
Reminds me of Braveheart. Remember his quote about titles? Braveheart. Did you ever see Braveheart?
I did,
Wallace.
yes. One of my favorite movies, but I don't remember.
He's
the quote.
talking with whoever that guy is, the Duke guy that was kind of caught in the middle, and then he's talking about like royalty, how royalty has titles and distinguish. And to William Wallace, he didn't give a shit. It was a joke. He's like, the fuck is the
Titles
title?
mean nothing.
Yeah, I forget the quote. I'm gonna have to watch that movie because, dude, it's been years, and I'm forgetting the quotes from that one. And that movie's got some good ones. So, but yeah, that reminds me of that. You're reminding me of William Wallace there, Bruce.
Thank you very much.
And Bruce, just real quick over on Pilled, Ghost Pepper's asking, what? No Biden shirt?
I actually found something. I was going through my gear. I had no idea who this guy Obama was when he first ran for office. I had no idea who he was. I had no concept of his background or anything. I wasn't politically active like I was back in college. It was already long since past college. I've got a wife and kids and a house and a mortgage and, car insurance, and I'm trying to just live my life. And so I found when I was at the grocery store, there was a political booth outside the front of it, and they were giving away Obama hats. And so I have them. And I was thinking of taking them and burning them. I just found them. Yeah, no, going through my shit, I found them. I was like,
Wow.
oh, I want to burn those publicly. Like, I want to have a public burning of Obama hats. I want him in jail. I want him in Gitmo. I want his husband in Gitmo. I want his 2 transsexual daughters in Gitmo. I want to see them all in Gitmo.
So tell us how you really feel, Bruce. How do you feel about Obama?
Yeah.
Don't hold back. Be honest. Just let it out. How do you feel?
I'm already on their watch list. So do you? Come on.
Good
We
for
all
you.
are.
That's a badge. That's a badge of honor. That's
Absolutely.
cool.
So getting back to Fanboy for Us, because I know Christy would like us to continue with the show.
What we
I hope you got nothing to do for the next 2 hours.
Well, I'm sitting here and I'm on board for doing an extended creative chaos tonight. And
As long as Kurt can.
Yeah, I'm thinking Kurt probably can.
This is a break from my boring life of just drawing. Yeah.
Cosmac, go to Richard's comment. Comment. He got the quote for us.
What?
Men don't follow titles; they follow courage.
There you
William
go.
Wallace.
Indeed.
Good move. Good work.
Thank you, Richard.
Yeah,
Appreciate you, brother. That's awesome.
I'm just doing a public call out. So, Cause, if it's okay that we run long tonight, just let me know in private chat.
Oh, I'm sorry. We have to consider the producer too. My apologies,
course.
Cosmac. I don't know if you've got plans tonight. I'm sorry to jump in and throw a monkey wrench on it.
Anyway, let's get to the next rapid answer question.
Favorite? Okay, this is any genre now. Any genre from actors to artists to what? Favorite artist of any kind.
Oh man.
Any medium.
Yeah. Christ. Let me think here. Okay. Clint Eastwood.
Oh,
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Actor. I mean, I can't believe he's still going. And it's going to suck when he goes. I know it's going to happen any day now. I mean, he's 95, but it's like
we have a watch. We have a death watch or a death pool. I wouldn't call it a death pool, but a death watch on Three Beermen. And we watched Bob Barker, and we were going and going and going.
Wow.
What's the actress's name? Betty White. That happened before we really got into it, but that kind of like triggered us. And so we've had a couple of death watches, and we haven't added Clint Eastwood to it yet. But I think Cosmic Grandpa, if you'll make that mental note for me, Clint Eastwood has to go on our death watch.
Yeah. I mean, we lost Gene Hackman a couple months back. That sucked.
Bruce, I think you missed the start of last week's show. We did add Clint Eastwood to the list.
I did miss last week's show. Remember, I was on the road. Okay,
Bruce.
There we go.
Was
So Death
on the
Watch.
loose.
I was Bruce on the loose. I was indeed. So Clint Eastwood's been added to our Death Watch. There you go. So the countdown has begun. So I agree with you, and I love Clint Eastwood. He was actually one of my all-time favorite when I was a kid. Like, I wanted to see every Dirty Harry, every spaghetti Western. Play Misty for me. I mean, he's done some amazing stuff. Bronco Billy, Every Which Way But Loose, Any Which Way You Can. I could run down the plethora of his movies, and then you got the Gauntlet and, Deadpool and all this other stuff. Not Deadpool. What was the name of that movie? Something Pool.
Oh, the Dirty Harry one, right?
Yeah. It's like he's later on in life.
Yeah.
Yes, we were very prophetic to do Bob Barker on his 99 and a half birthday. Yep. But so things like that. But Clint Eastwood was the man. So I love that you're a Clint Eastwood fan like me.
Oh, yeah.
Love that. Absolutely gorgeous. All right. Favorite food?
Seafood.
Sushi or grilled fish?
Like crab, shrimp, lobster, the good shit, scallops.
Oh, so you're a Bostonite. You like the seafood, the crabs and all.
I'm a coast guy, East and West Coast, because I lived out west for 13 years, and San Francisco for 4 years.
Oh wow!
And
okay, right on the bay.
Right off of the Embarcadero. And when we would, I was living with a girlfriend and a couple of college friends. We were young and new at life, and so we would go to seafood restaurants, man, and they were, what you're eating in that restaurant that night, they caught that morning. And that's no exaggeration. That's no bullshit, because you could see the boats come in the morning. You know what I mean? And so you want to talk about fresh seafood. It literally caught that day. And you're talking scallops and lobster and shrimp and crab and what's the calamari. It's weird. I mean, when it's like, you really can tell when it is fresh, you know what I mean? Yeah. So that did it for me, man. I'm ruined. I'm spoiled on seafood now. All that stuff. Any seafood, clam chowder, whatever, man. It's all good.
You come down to Long Island and you reach out to me, and we'll go out to a local place out here that has the same thing.
Dude, that would be crazy. Yeah, again.
And I'm East Coast. I'm Long Island, East Coast.
East Coast, yeah. See, obviously the East Coast is known for that as well, and that's what's so cool is both coasts have that primary seafood. So either way you go, it's cool. Yeah, I will get hold of you if I ever wander that way, my friend. Believe me.
Absolutely, for
I'll
sure.
take you up on that.
Just another reason to love the United States.
Yeah.
I don't want to jump the shark or put the cart before the horse, but a friend of mine turned me on to a friend of his that has an old ambulance that he's looking to unload. And I've been wanting to take one and convert it into a camper and just travel the United States cross country.
Yeah, do it.
For the 250th anniversary of
Wow.
God Bless America.
That'd be cool.
So I'm this close. I need the divorce to finish. Then I can buy myself a truck. Then I can get myself a camper and then get on the road.
Oh, that would be
cool.
so rad.
That'd be
That would
cool.
be so rad.
I'm looking. All right. Favorite drink, alcoholic and or non-alcoholic, or one of each?
We'll do one of each. Coffee, definitely. 24 hours, I drink it. Drink-wise, rum and Coke. Spiced rum and Coke.
There you go. Which
Nice.
spiced rum do you prefer?
Captain Morgan. Technically,
That's the good-
Captain Morgan private stock. It's
Private stock.
the shit, dude.
It's small batch, or is it just a higher quality?
It's a higher quality, but it smells, tastes different. It's stronger,
Right.
smoother. I've gotten a lot because I used to bartend in Vegas. When I lived out west, I lived in San Francisco a few years, Las Vegas a few years. I
Okay.
gypsied around my Arizona, Utah, wherever.
Nice,
And
nice.
I worked. I was a bartender for a while, and I remember when the distributor brought in a bottle of private stock because when you're at the bar, all the advertisers and distributors and shit, put up this display, or our bottle has to be right up front. Oh, okay. Well, they dropped a bottle of private stock off at every bar. There was like $5. It was in a casino. It was in the Hard Rock.
Of
Hotel,
course.
So every bar got, a bottle of Captain Morgan private stock. And if you don't, if you're not aware of the service industry when it comes to bartenders and waiters, we're all a bunch of fucking drunks, alkies. You sip from the fucking bar, man. That's just how it is. I didn't even drink for shit until I got this job. And they basically, they kind of taught me how to drink well, how to drink responsibly and still function while you're working 8, 10, 12-hour days. And it worked like a charm. And so it was some crazy
And how to milk the clients as well.
I think back now, I'm like, did I really live that? It seems so foreign to me and crazy, like a movie. I have to honestly go, fuck, was that like a big hallucination dream, or did I actually live that way? And I still have like my name tag and pins and bullshit from the uniform. And I'm like, no, it was real. You know what I mean? And so anyways, a bottle of private stock at every bar. And the guy I was working with, because you usually pair up, there's usually 2 bartenders in bar. And, he's like, let's try a shot. I'm like, okay, And so, we drink it. He's like, well, let's try a little bit mixed it. Dude, like, the customers didn't get shit from that bottle. We killed the bottle. You know what I mean? Within like 2-3 hours, like the next shift comes in and they're like, hey, where's this new private stock? And I'm like, talk to him. And he's like, we drank it all. So it was like crazy, man. But so ever since then, I got hooked on private stock. And I don't drink much now. Levi?
Are you just saying
Levi
hello
just
to
jumped in
Levi?
the chats and he said, hello, Christy, Bruce, Kurt, and the chat.
What's
Hello,
up? What's
Levi
up, Levi?
Steen.
So I had to just say hi back because I didn't want to break your concentration. It was great. It's funny. You talk about being in the industry. You talk about being in the industry. Right out of college, my first job was working in a hotel bar.
Oh.
And it was a nightclub at night during the week.
Wow.
And so it was like the hangout pickup spot and it was inside of a hotel. So when you were done hooking up, with somebody at the bar, you went up and got a room for the night. Yeah. And the chef was a fucking psycho alcoholic. And I was told, because the general manager, my boss, was going out of town for the weekend for a family wedding, and he left me in charge. And the chef, I was told the chef is an alcoholic. You only give him one pitcher of beer at the beginning of the night. Don't let him bully you. Don't let him con you into giving him another one.
All
But
right.
after you're closed, you can give him another beer, but not a pitcher, just a
Right.
beer.
Right.
So the motherfucker came at me with a knife, threatening me. He wanted his second pitcher. I was like,
Dude, that's
fuck
how-
this, I'm out of here. I don't get paid
Dude.
enough to deal with this stupidity.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I left my- Go ahead.
I just have to interject because I hung out with Kurt one time for hours on his stream and
Yeah.
heard a lot of his bartending stories, and oh my god,
Yeah.
like I thought I was wild in my 20s, but
Oh.
hearing Kurt, I was like,
No.
and
Yeah.
I'm glad I don't know, I might have had I probably would have died. And Kurt, I think you even
Yeah.
said I'm surprised I didn't die.
Yeah, I mean, I believe it or not, I'm a personal discipline freak. Like on myself, I am very controlling of myself, and I really have a lot of discipline with certain things. The Vegas bartending scene was probably the most out of control I was, but I never became an alcoholic because I am like two people, right? Like when I was at the Hard Rock, I was partying, Mr. Party and smoking, pills popping, or whatever, strippers, hookers, all that shit. But on weekends, the nerd came out, and I'm playing video games and drawing and watching Star Wars. You know what I mean? And I would hide that because if the fucking, studs and studettes at the Hard Rock knew that about me, you'd be done. Your reputation's destroyed. You know what I mean? So I was literally like, I call myself a closet geek. You know what I mean? Because I literally was hiding the fact that the real me was, an artist and into film and comics and music and video games and all that kind of, nerdy stuff. But then, when I was at work, it was all, fast cars
Is
and
it-
fast chicks and fast drinking and
So
everything
funny.
else.
You have to hide that you're actually a good person and like not
Yeah.
vapid. You have to hide you're not vapid.
I did it.
I'm
did it-
surface.
No, I did it all wrong. Like I said, I went into Vegas and the industry like a clueless 18-year-old, right? I had no idea. You want to talk about corrupt and twisted and bending the rules and that walking the fine line between heaven and hell. That is Vegas. It's Sin City. I mean, hello, Sin City's the nickname, right? So I go in there, because I'm a good old boy from Ohio and, well, you learn eventually real quick, you go with the flow. And when you go with the flow, suddenly you're cool and they love you because you're one of them now. And so that's where I'm like, okay, well, time to cut fucking loose. And so I cut loose, you know what I mean? Because I didn't have wife and kids and all that shit now. And the guys who didn't have them for long. Let's just say that. Vegas is very destructive. You don't fall in love in Vegas. You fall out of love and get divorced in Vegas. It's like, but it was so crazy. And for so long, because I was at the Hard Rock for 5 years, I honestly think back now that I'm older and boring, I'm like, did I fucking do all that shit? Did that really happen? And yeah, it did. Because I've kept in touch with some people where they're like, dude, that was crazy that one night. I couldn't believe, you know what I mean? I'm just like, okay, it was real. But yeah, so take your hotel experience and multiply that by about 10 times because the craziest, braunchiest hotel and casino at the time in Vegas was the Hard Rock Hotel and Casino. And I was front and center. And it's nuts, dude. It's nuts. So anyways, I'm a much more boring, better person now. And like the good side of me has taken over because now I'm a total 100% geek. I don't have to hide in the closet anymore, Mike.
You're geeking out every day.
Yeah, I sure am.
Good for you. All right. So that was the alcoholic side. What was the non-alcoholic? Oh, coffee. You said coffee. I'm
Coffee.
sorry.
Yeah.
I had to regroup my thoughts.
Right.
Okay. Any genre, favorite character?
Man, I remember what I said last time, and I'm just going to stick to it. I really dig Snake Plissken from Escape from New York. Plus, he's
That's
got
right.
he's got a cool backstory. Because if you ever watched the documentary about James Cameron, the director, Christ, what's his name? Who directed Escape from New York? Wow, it just left me. I don't know why. John Carpenter.
John Carpenter, that's it.
There's like a little, documentary thing with the Escape from New York. And Snake Plissken was a guy who knew in Cleveland, Ohio. His name was really Snake Plissken. So he based this childhood badass from Cleveland, Ohio on and made this character Snake Plissken. Dude, that's cool as shit. You know what I mean? That's cool. Not to mention Kurt Russell looking like that badass and stuff. He's just a cool character. It's, God, why didn't they make better sequels? Because Escape from LA, okay. It just, man, what a cool character.
It's really hard to beat out an original with new content for the original characters.
Yeah.
I mean, and even comic books do the same thing, and they rehash
the
storylines. Good guy against bad guy. Twist about the bad guy. Good guy falls for it, and it's a routine. It's a script, if you will. But it's funny you mentioned Snake Plissken again, and I don't know if I told you, but I actually got a Snake Plissken Cobra patch. It's red, white, and blue with a yellow chest piece, and it's got a patch over the one eye.
Cool, man.
And I stitched it on the back of one of my jackets. I'm trying to remember. I don't have it here. It's back in my other place.
What, dude? If you find it, you got to hook it up somewhere near where you can grab it real quick and show it.
Next time.
Next time you're on, if I'm in the chat, I'll be like, Bruce, where's that damn patch? Stop what you're doing. Interrupt the show. Show me.
If I'm in my other studio, it's. I know exactly where it is.
Cool.
It's hanging in that back office closet. I got to go get it.
That's sweet.
Very cool. All right. So here we go.
Is that it?
The last question. Your favorite band?
I say it again. It was Iron Maiden.
Yep.
Iron Maiden.
That's
a good choice.
They're epic, man. To me, they're one of the pillars of metal. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. I told you then, and I'll tell you again. I went to their concert right after I got onto my neck brace, my body cast from when I broke my neck in '87. Yeah. And I went and saw them live after all that, recuperating. I couldn't thrash and bang my head, but I was definitely rocking the shoulders.
Well, back then, you were risking your life if you did that shit because those mosh pits were real. And, we had lighters, and it wasn't cell phones in the air. It was lighters in the air and all the shit that went with the light. It was...
And a 110 camera. And a 110 camera.
Yeah.
A 110 camera.
You had to be... I mean, I remember, because, again, I swear to God, the first half of my life was one big fucking adventure. It was everything I did from my teens, actually even before that, grade school through my teens, into my 20s, and then into my 30s was nuts. I mean, it was stuff that now you probably get arrested for doing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, back then it was kids being kids.
Back then it wasn't crazy it was crazy, but not crazy as in, let's meet him at his house and talk to his parents, 10 cops and fucking scare the shit. The cops would be like, what are you kids doing? That kind of shit. You know what I mean? And
try drinking water out of a hose today.
Yeah,
you take your life into your hands.
Yeah, no shit. But concerts when you're 16 years old and it's Iron Maiden or who else did I see? Black Sabbath. That's all Sabbath.
Yeah, Judas Priest.
Dio.
Opened up for
Judas
Kiss.
Priest. Yeah.
Dio. Ozzy Osbourne.
Yeah.
Black Sabbath before that, but Ozzy.
Yeah.
Ozzy shows were crazy.
Yeah. It's scary as a kid because it's dark and there's smoke everywhere because everyone could smoke. And then there's a weird smelling smoke and you're like, what is that? You know what I mean?
Contact high.
And dude, the metalheads, the denim and the leather and the denim vest over the biker jacket and the fucking long you know, and I'll never forget, there was this one dude, he was a burn victim. He was an older guy. He was like really skinny and really old. And his skin was tan and just all fucking wrinkled and stuff. And this long, like fucking black hair and this black cowboy hat on and black leather. And I remember he was like fucking 5 feet away from me. And they're passing a joint around, you know, and I'm this little dorky kid, and I'm like, you know, and I remember this dude just, you know, turning and looking at me with this like fucking evil grin. And I'm just, dude, I was like, please don't talk. It was, you know, and then he kind of turns back to watch the show, but I'm like, it's a scary motherfucker. Who are they? Are these demons on me? You know what I mean? I mean, there's some crazy shit back then. And so as a kid, it's kind of scary, but you got, you know, you're on guard. You're like, am I going to die here? It's just a concert. I just want to rock out. You know what I mean? And as you get older, fuck, that's cool. Everyone's cool. No one wants to fucking cause problems.
And then they just start passing the joint around.
Fucking passing the joint, whatever, man. You know, it's cool. But, you know, good times. And again, from what I haven't been to a concert in over a decade, but it's like,
I'm going to a live show tomorrow night. One of my friends is a rock and blues artist.
Cool.
You can look her up, Kelly Baker, Kelli Baker. And she's live tomorrow night here at none other than My Father's Place, which was remodeled. I don't know if you remember My Father's Place.
No.
I've never heard of it.
All right. It's CBGB's you've heard of, right? So CBGB's in Queens?
No.
Okay. So that was the rock place.
I don't know the East Coast for shit. I know the West Coast and the East Coast.
So CBGB's would be the equivalent of, what's the place where Elton John... CBGB's.
Yes.
CBGB's
I know that.
was like the same place that Elton John rocked out to in California. Whatever that place was, that nightclub, bar that he started in, CBGB's is the same place. The Ramones got their start there. Sid Vicious played there.
The Talking Heads, my favorite band.
It was Patti Smythe, Wendy O, and the Plasmatics. You know,
Plasmatics. Yep.
That's the stuff I grew up with. The punk scene.
Yeah.
So I still wear my biker rings. I still wear my bracelets, and
cool.
You know, I put on my denim jackets and I go rock out.
Good, man. No, never lose that shit. We're
just
a dying breed.
My pin.
That's cool. Yeah, you gotta don't ever change that. Don't ever grow up. We're a dying breed. You know, I don't know there's not many true metalheads and shit anymore. Oh, that's cool. Nice, Bruce. I know what that is. That's cool, man.
You know, let's see if you can you guess this one?
Corona Royal. No, no. That looks like a
Grand Royal. It's the logo for the Beastie Boys record label.
Wow.
Oh, okay.
That's cool.
Only a diehard would know that. So I grew up with that. The Beastie Boys.
Beastie Boys was cool, man. Spring break, junior year. Yeah, love Beastie Boys.
Yeah, so.
Oh, that's cool.
Just an Adam West.
You got some cool pens, man.
And this is just part of it. You know,
cool.
I've always been that way. I've been out since I was a kid, and I haven't grown up since.
Yeah, stay that way.
That's the only way.
Ever.
So I apologized for digressing the show so hard tonight, Christy.
Oh, man.
Don't apologize. We have
the last of Fanboy for us.
We have the thumbs up from Cause to go and have a good time tonight. So we're having an extended Creative Chaos tonight. Right. And it's been fun actually having an extended Fanboy for us because I've been able to engage with the chat more than I usually do. So
yeah,
that's awesome. Well, but since we are done with Fanboy for us, we do have to talk about Kurt for a while because we are here for a purpose. You've got a campaign going and you've got an awesome series of Between Angels and Demons is a series. And you've published 2 books so far of the story. But this one that you're crowdfunding right now, Intervention, is a prequel.
Right.
So why don't you tell us a little bit about your series and specifically how Intervention works in?
Okay. First off, Bruce, you got 2 books coming to you. Like I said, probably more like September-ish, because the last time I was on here, you backed the Volume 2 campaign, and then it was this special where I threw in Volume 1 for free, and you like grabbed it, and you had trouble with the computer and all that shit, and everyone's trying to help you. And I'm like, just back the fucking thing, dude. Come on, I need it, you know. So anyways, I'm gonna keep posted just whether Indiegogo campaign or Twitter or whatever, but I try to update everyone with the Volume 2 campaign because I got like 8 pages left to finish.
Wow.
But I'm juggling that with intervention.
Okay.
So
dude, I'm in no rush. There may be other fans that are in a rush, but
right.
when it comes in, it'll be a surprise. It'll be like a birthday present early,
right?
You know, an early birthday present. So,
and I don't want to rush it because when you rush, the art's not as cool, and I don't want like the last few pages to suck. You know what I mean? Like I don't want to look rushed. So I'm like, just take your time and do it, and they'll forgive you if it's a month or two late. You know what I mean? So I'm just saying, I haven't forgot about you guys.
All good.
But yeah. So Volume 1 and Volume 2 is the first 2 campaigns on Fund My Comic. And that's like that's the main story. You know, that's the whole between demons and angels, and it's really complicated and all this stuff. This intervention was actually accidental. Last year, someone on Twitter, I don't know what it was, but the topic of black and white art, black and white comics came up. And I think I must have posted a black and white picture or something like that. And someone on Twitter is like, oh yeah, I love that black and white style, and it's it's cool to see that once in a while. And then I was getting a lot of good like feedback, oh that's cool stuff. And I was like, I got this itch to do a black and white, you know what I mean? And I also had this itch to have a Western themed, and it was just like kind of like this idea, and it wouldn't go away, and I'm working on Volume 2, and all of a sudden it hits me, and I'm like, as I'm working on Volume 2, I realize, wait a minute, I could tell the backstory of these 2 or 3 characters in Volume 2 of how they originated, how they met. So
they tie together.
Yes, but the cool thing is because I was like, okay, I'm one of these people where the fucking idea hits you like, holy shit, and then you like drop everything, and if you start writing, or with me is I'll be like texting myself. I'm like texting myself, okay, here's the idea, or you just start fucking voice. Yeah, I'm just like, everything stop, everyone stop, and then and so I had this idea when wait a minute, these certain characters in Volume 2 that I'm working on right now could be the short black and white story. So it's like I take care of the whole black and white itch that I wanted to do, but it's still tied to the story, as opposed to having a completely different story where it's not related and it'll never come up again. I'm like,
love it.
You know what I mean?
I love it.
So
that's
then
great.
It was the ball's rolling.
So it's the origin story for the 2 villains.
Technically, and no, that's
whatever you want to call.
Is I at the time thought Volume 1 was the beginning, because the way it starts, it starts like a very beginning, like, okay, here's this, and then this happens, right? Well, no, then you start. Well, I think too much and shit, especially late at night, and so then I'm like, okay, let's regress. How were things before this big event, right? And I'm like, well, the demons are still around; they're just not seen. So that means technically someone could have interacted with one of them. And I'm just like, here we go. As I'm fucking drawing, sketching and bullshit and recording.
And we're off.
And so over the last year, I got this story together, which to me is a short story because the book's only 24 pages.
Start to finish, it's complete story arc?
Yeah, that's the other cool thing is...
I love that. The short ones were my favorite because it was a quick read.
Right.
You got it. You got your story in, and you're like, start to finish, not 20 issues later. Oh my God, this could have ended back here in issue 5.
Right. And that's was the other. It was like, Bruce, for this particular thing, I just fucking hit it all. I got lucky. It was like
divine intervention.
Throwing a bowling ball blind and you hit all the fucking pins on accident. That's how, with this particular thing, because it's like a short story. It's black and white. It is actually tied to that. It's actually the prequel before the prequel. Like I thought, oh, this is the first. No, this is the start. But it is a standalone, because this story, like, not only can you start here, but for someone who doesn't know anything about, the other two, or they don't have them or whatever, you really don't need to, because this begins and wraps up, and that's that of this story. And then years later, this story comes to be, right? So I'm like, this is perfect. I'm like, it's a short story, black and white. Man, I tell you, if I knew back then when I did volume 1, I would have made them all black and white, because, for me, I do everything. I write, I pencil, I ink, I color, I edit, I fucking do everything. You know what I mean?
Start to finish, you're it.
This whole black and white style I have is 3 to 4 times faster than the color.
I will tell you, my all-time favorite comic book artist is still alive today.
Yeah.
Okay. And he draws only in black and white. He's done color sometimes, but Tim Vigil.
I've heard. Yeah.
Tim Vigil and Faust. I mean, I've followed his work all the way back in the day.
Yeah.
He's done. I mean, black and white was his thing.
Yeah.
And it still is to this day. And he's been on Madness Comic Network with us, and just love the black and white stuff.
Yeah.
You can get away with so much, or you can add even more.
Yeah.
You have that option. And where Tim Vigil goes detail oriented, and you see every line and every muscle and every sinew in a body that he's drawing.
Right.
Or you could get very silhouette and tell a story like a shirt design.
Right. And that's probably why I like that now, because I love silhouettes.
And so black and white is awesome.
Yeah.
I appreciate a good black and white.
Well, this you'll like. There's one that I don't go crazy with the silhouettes, but there's panels that are silhouettes.
But it's a black and white book, so it's
I love silhouettes.
As we say, Woody M said, monochrome is awesome.
Yeah. The only little twist I throw in is the red. There's a scarlet red, and
that's okay.
And if you like the trailer, you could kind of see it. There's certain images where you would see the blood is red or a demonizer red, but that's it. I literally assigned, okay, we're only going to use red, like the title, intervention has like a red little glow at the bottom. But I'm like, when it comes to the artwork, the panels, it's like I'm strict with myself. I'm like, only blood and demonized. That's it. No clothing, no whatever light in the background.
And that's also impactful. Because
it stands out. It's the blood and demonized, right? So it's a way to accent the evil, right? And this, because this story, because dude, it was all like, I just say it was like accidental, the whole goddamn story. Because I'm like, oh, okay, well, dark fantasy, it ties in with the whole Between Demons and Angels, dark fantasy. That's like the core story, dark fantasy.
Right.
But I'm like, I gotta have this Western twist. I'm dying to have a Western, man. I love Clint Eastwood and all that shit. So, okay, Western. And then as I'm writing it and figuring it out, I'm like, this thing's like ending up a horror. There's some fucked up shit going on. And so I'm like, dark fantasy, Western, horror. Why not? Is it illegal? Is it illegal to have that? No. Okay, well, fuck it. I'm going to do it. You know what I mean? I don't know how many other dark fantasy, Western horror stories and books are out there. There's a lot of, it's a dark fantasy horror or Western horror. But man, I got all three. So if you don't like something, well, I can't help you. You know what I mean? It's like, sorry, I'm out of options, man. It's like tip 1 of 3.
So you said you're on Indiegogo, right?
I am now, yeah. This campaign.
Okay, let's figure it out, if you don't mind.
Sure, man.
What are we figuring out?
What are we figuring out?
How to back the campaign.
Oh, how to back the campaign? Well, I mean, since we're on the subject, I'll go ahead and drop the link again in the chat. It's also in the description of the video. So
I'm
you guys,
in Indiegogo.com,
and
I have to search for insurrection.
Intervention. Think of Divine Intervention. That's kind
Divine
of what
Intervention,
it's
right.
about. Yeah. So INTERVENTI.
No, I don't want to. I don't want to do that. No. I already have an account.
Oh.
See campaign. Yes, I want to see the campaign.
Yes, and our wonderful Mod Vulcan Live said I beat him to it of dropping the link. I'm kind of surprised. It literally is because I still had it highlighted in my notes. That's the only reason, Vulcan.
Okay. So hold on.
Yeah, there it is. Yeah.
All right. So I'm on it.
Uh-huh.
Starts at 15.
Yeah. That'll get you the book, man.
Oh, sign me up. No, stop. Ugh. There's the
Now-
OzCon International 2025. What's that?
The what?
Oh, no,
What's
these
that?
are just different campaigns. I got to click
Yeah.
on it. Hold on. Click.
There's a lot. Yeah, Indiegogo has a lot of promotion. You got to be careful what you're clicking.
Yeah, just remember, Bruce, when you're at checkout, it automatically, this is the thing that I think is the most skeevy about Indiegogo, is it adds a tip for you
Yeah.
and that goes to the platform, but the wording is weird and makes you think that it might be going to the creator.
Gotcha.
That's the only thing about, I don't know how much I don't like about
So-
Indiegogo because I don't use it that much, but
Right.
it skeeved me. I'm like, oh, you weirdos.
All right. So the first one is Intervention Classic Cover 15.
Yeah.
Classic Cover and 2 prints 20.
Oh,
Intervention and Volume 2.
yeah. And you don't
I
need
already
any
got
extra. You got 1 and 2 common. All you
Alright,
need
so-
is the first 15 one. That's good enough, man.
Okay. So
Maybe I'll accidentally drop some extras in your package before
I
I
appreciate you, brother. Thank you. very
accidentally,
much.
of course. When you get it, you're like, oh wow, look, he this klutz, he dropped these extra prints in here for me.
Well, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that.
No
Proceed
problem.
to
I'm just saying
checkout.
it might happen. It might. I don't know.
Well, I thank you.
Well, hey, so on that note, while Bruce, you're figuring that out, on that note, anybody that has Kurt on and backs him while you're live, you might get extras dropped in as well.
You never know.
You never know.
Never know. And the other thing is like I said, I'm not expecting the campaign to do crazy good, but if it can get to the point where we unlock a couple of the stretch goals, will be cool, because the first stretch goal is a trading card of the villain, the main antagonist, and then the second stretch goal is an 8.5 by 11 print on semi-gloss cardstock and stuff. And then the third stretch goal I really would like to get to, it's little bit of a far shot, but it's adding 4 pages to the book. So
That's
you get
cool.
a 24-page book now. If we got to that third stretch goal, I'm adding 4 pages to it. So then you get a 28-page book for the same of everything, in addition to the print and the trading card. You see what I'm saying? It's like,
Yeah.
I really want to get people more than just the book. You know what I mean? I love those little extras, trading cards and prints and whatever.
Yeah. Hey, Kurt, just
yeah.
real quick.
Mhm.
I did share the screen, cause if you can bring it up, since we're talking about the campaign. I know we don't usually scroll campaigns, but let's take a look at Kurt's campaign, since Bruce is over there backing it and we're talking about all
I
the
appreciate
stretch
it,
goals
Bruce.
and everything.
I got a confirmation.
I love it, dude. So you got 3 books coming to you, man, at the end of the year. I got to send you everything I got, brother.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate you.
No, thank you.
All right, so this is what the campaign looks like, you guys. But Kurt, is there anything that you wanted to highlight? Well, number one, you can get
Yeah.
the book itself for only $15.
Yeah.
That's not bad for an independent publication.
Yeah, that's kind of, again, I'm grateful if I get a backer who does the 15, because that's the book. That's what we're here for. And then any stretch goals that get unlocked, you get those with it. So you know what I mean? It's whatever. But yeah, there's a few options there in the campaign. I put the other 2 books there for people, and actually, I had a backer. I couldn't believe it. One of the backers did the $75 tier, the give it all to me, or whatever I called it.
It's all
It's
yours.
all yours. I couldn't believe it. I was like, holy shit, someone got everything, because it's all 3 books. So it's like, okay, well, because I'm like, well, if Intervention's cool, then maybe look into volume 1 and 2. They're a lot different, a lot more complicated and colored, but you may like them too. And this guy's like, yeah, sure. I don't know who he is, but I'm like, thanks, wherever you are. So, yeah, there's all the options there. But again, if you scroll down to the stretch goals, that's what I'm hoping.
Oh,
Yeah,
I'm
there's-
sorry, Kurt. I have
Yeah.
to stop on this because when I was scrolling your campaign today,
Sure.
I freaking love this top panel here so much.
Cool.
The desert, like just the fading back desert scene, but it also kind of feels like super theatrical.
Yeah.
And I can, even though it is in monochrome, I can see the colors in my head.
That's cool. Yeah.
Yeah. I love it.
Yeah.
And look, and there's your silhouettes that you love.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
you'll see.
great. That's
There,
awesome.
there, Bruce. See the bottom left of that panel? Scroll up real quick.
Yeah.
Page 2. Right there. See that? With
Yeah.
The house, the horse, and him standing there?
Yep. House, the horse, and the cowboy standing
is
at the doorway
100%.
knocking.
Yeah. I don't even have highlight lights around the edge of them. It is black. You know what I'm saying? It is a silhouette, which is
Love it.
very hard for me because I, by default, want to fucking add some detail or outline. And I'm like, a silhouette's a fucking silhouette. It is a black with the background. So I forced myself to do that silhouette. And it's actually pretty cool. I was like, oh, see, this
It came out well.
Yeah,
I get the image of him knocking on the front door.
Yeah.
You get
it
that's
looks really
what
good.
it's supposed to depict. And
Yeah.
I love the fact, I mean, you go back to the Batman the Animated Series,
Mhm.
they used black paper and then drew on it with color
Wow.
to get that noir style. I don't know if
Yeah.
you've had, so like in the commentaries, Bruce Timm goes into detail about
Yeah.
how they drew the cartoon on black paper. They did
Yeah.
it old school style, like a
Yeah.
comic book art. And
That's
this
cool.
is beautiful. Look at that. The moon in the background is you got 2 people walking away from each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah. And not a lot of red, as you can see. See what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Because I'm not showing any bloody panels yet or anything. It's just here and there. Well, like I said, if there's blood or the demonized, that's where the red is.
Right.
And I think if you look at when you go down the stretch goals, okay, there's the main bad
Okay.
girl. That's the first stretch goal, is the trading card of her. She's the main villain of the story.
And she's in 1 and 2.
She's not in 1, but she makes her appearance in 2.
There you
And
go.
I didn't really plan on doing a backstory for her until it all fell into place. And I was like, wait a minute. What
That's
the fuck
awesome.
was she doing 15 years ago? You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, holy shit, I can have her in this as well. So there's actually 3 or 4 characters from volume 1 and 2 that are in this story. It's
Right.
They're younger. They're, you know what I mean? It's like the cat's not out of the bag, so to speak, as in, the angels haven't arrived. The demons aren't really rising yet. This is the calm before the storm. That's what this book is.
Precursor.
Yes, the precursor. This is the calm before the storm. This is the little hints, the winds of change, and that's all. And then the real shit is, volume
About to hit the fan in 1 and 2.
right. Yeah, and
I
so
love
the next one down, I think, is the print. There's a lot of red in this one, I think. Yeah, this one.
Yeah, it's almost
Okay.
the whole. I thought this was a cover.
I drew it after the cover. I was like, fuck, this could be a cover. But I'm like, nah, it's too good. But this, I call it an advertising poster because this actually encompasses everything you need to know about the fucking story.
Yeah.
I try to do that like with the trailers. Like I always try to have like a picture or a trailer where I don't even have to I don't even have to give you a tagline or anything. Just watch the fucking trailer and you know everything you need to know about it. This picture is that perfect example because there's your main character, the graveyard. You have the ghosts of children in the back, which means, okay, there's some fucked up shit going on here. The blood red cross, the blood red moon, the villain, the witch. She's a witch. They're red in the background.
Yep.
Underneath her, the thorns tangling around the gravestones. That has a lot to do with the story and her character. And then up there in the left corner, flying there in the little break in the clouds, that's the premonition. That's actually an angel flying up above the clouds. But there's no angels in this book. You know what I'm saying? It's that hint of things to come is what that is. So I put a lot of thought into this particular picture. And so this is the second stretch goal if we get to where it's an 8.5 by 11 print glossy cardstock and everyone gets it. So.
Can I just trouble you to pause for 1 second? Cosmic, is there any way you can blow up that the silhouette of the angel?
I got it.
Like zoom in? Or?
If you can zoom in a little bit on just that. I want to say something that you may not have intentionally meant to happen.
Oh, God. Are you talking about like just
upper left corner? Yeah, just go to the upper left corner of it.
Hold on.
But get the whole thing in. Okay. Stop right there. That's fine. If you can blow it up, that's fine. But from a distance, it looks like the eye of God looking down on the earth.
I see what you're saying.
And the angel is coming through the eye of God.
Yeah.
Just saying.
That would be rather symbolic because that's kind of what's going on in a way. Yeah.
So
we're just on a web page.
Just what I see. And who am I? I'm just another nerd.
No, man, that's cool. I like observations. I like it when people note things that I don't notice and stuff. That's cool.
I'm a very observant person, but you may have done that subconsciously, not realizing it, because it is in the shape of an eye.
Yeah, I guess it is, isn't it? Okay, cool. Yeah. Yeah, I was just trying to make a break in the clouds with the light behind it so you can see the silhouette of, is that like a giant fucking condor? No, well, there's legs and a head, so it's actually an angel flying up there.
Right.
Yeah, well, Kurt, I just got to bust in here and say that's a very generous and attainable stretch goal. It's only $1,500, and anybody that backs, I don't think you have a digital tier. So basically, anybody that backs is going to get this print.
Yeah, anyone that backs anything,
So don't forget, if you back, also share it on social media and let people know that this campaign's live right now, because that's what stretch goals are all about. It's like enticement for your backers to go out there and share.
Right.
Yep.
So
I just want to give more. I want to give as much as I can, under the, but being able to afford it. Like if I could, I'd just give it all free. Hey, here's a free campaign. Take all my stuff. Obviously, I can't do that. So, but I want to give people more bang for their buck, so to speak.
And you get an extra 4 pages for another $500. So if you reach the very attainable, not too much to ask, $2,000 goal, you're getting the poster and another 4 pages.
Yeah, this is the one. Yeah, I'll be satisfied if we hit that. If we hit the 2,000, that I'll be satisfied. The other goals are there just because you kind of have to list other goals. You know what I mean? Just in case for some crazy reason it keeps going and going and going. You're like, oh shit, I need something if it gets to 3,000. I'm not expecting that, but I really hope we get to the 2,000 because I already know the 4 pages that are going, and it's going to be a prologue. It's going to be the beginning of the book. The book is going to begin differently than it does now, and it's really dark and creepy. And I'm like, I want to do these 4 pages. You know what I mean? So I got it all figured out. We just have to get there.
I'm actually trying to share it out now.
Cool. Thanks, Bruce.
I just copied the link and I'm trying to post it to my Facebook page.
Cool. And again, it just started, a few days ago. But this is in the early stage, so it's cool. I'm very patient. I'm a very patient guy.
Indeed, you are. What's on your mind? Copy.
Vulcan?
Paste.
Damn, dude. I appreciate it, Vulcan. So you got. Yeah. See, you guys are very generous. That's another reason why I love coming on this show. It's I always get at least one backer or more. Are you muted? Is she muted or is that me?
Nope, you're going live. I just wanted to send it
Yes,
up as a
I was
post.
muted. I was
Okay.
muted. My bad. Yeah. So thank you, Vulcan. The needle moved tonight during Creative Chaos. That's awesome.
I appreciate
And
everybody.
and Vulcan also said earlier that you and he are Twitter friends.
Yeah. Oh, dude. Volk. Oh, yeah. And now that we're live and public, Vulcan, if I could send you a fucking award, I would, like a medal, because Vulcan, Jesus Christ, like any drawing or post or anything about fucking anything I post, he likes, reposts, likes, reposts, likes, reposts. There'll be times where, like, Vulcan, am I right or wrong? Tell me if I'm right. Like, he'll maybe be gone for like 2-3 days, taking a break or whatever, real life stuff. And then he comes back, and I know he's back. You know why? Because it's like, Vulcan liked and repost 8 of your tweets. It's like,
Oh,
boom,
that's
boom,
so
boom,
nice.
boom, boom. I'm just like, holy shit, brother.
It doesn't show up. It says, check out this awesome comic, igg.me. And I
That's
put the
cool.
link.
I appreciate it, man. Yeah, so Vulcan, now that you're here, because I don't really talk to you, quote unquote talk. We don't have conversations on there. But Vulcan, I totally appreciate it, man. I see how you do it. And it's not just me. He does that with any campaign he's interested in. He's really good at liking and reposting over and over. And that's one of my little issues I have with Twitter and social media. Likes are great and all, likes. I say, well, a like is like a hug. You love it. A repost is like a naked hug. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's like repost, because it's basically a pyramid marketing scheme. If you know anything about pyramid marketing schemes from the 80s and 90s, that's
great
all
way
this
to put
shit
it.
is. You repost it so all your people see it. Maybe a couple of them see it, and then it's a pyramid marketing.
Yeah.
And if you understand that, you're suddenly like, oh shit, reposts are really kind of a helpful tool. And the people that do that, I really appreciate it. So yes, Vulcan, thank you.
Now, Kurt, every time I repost anything of yours, you're gonna be imagining me naked and hugging you.
You're welcome. That's all right.
I may not repost anymore. No.
Hey, well, you can. Hey, Christy.
Oh wait, actually,
Christy,
now hold on,
Christy,
because
you
you've
we'll
been
keep it our secret.
reposting me a lot.
Yeah, you can repost. We'll just keep it a secret. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
We don't have to tell anybody. It'll be our battle.
Oh, thank God Scott doesn't watch this stream. Jeez.
She's blushing, dude. I'm messing with you. You know that.
I know, of course.
We got this whole. Yeah, it's cool.
Well,
Scott's cool. Yes, I apologize, Scott. I'm not seriously messing with your wife, man. I'm just.
Well, it was funny because I just discovered something started happening with this computer where I can hear through my headphones, but I can turn the speakers on too. And he was over just to the side, and I'm like, if you want to sit there during my show and actually listen
and chaperone,
go ahead. And he's like,
have him glare at me, have him stare at me. Say, all right, I'm right here, buddy. Yeah, go ahead and flirt with my wife. We'll see what happens. Click.
Well, I mean, there's a whole reason behind my internet, my Twitter and Facebook persona of not being Christy and being Kitty, because who does not like a busty redhead?
Of course.
And want to share what she posts. Right?
Redheads are the best. They're the craziest of them all.
They are the craziest.
Never a dull moment with a redhead. Am I right, Bruce?
Only for the night.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know there's a meme out there with like crazy, versus like marriage material, and redheads are in the like super crazy but super fun.
Right.
Quadrant.
Yeah.
Anyway, I did ask somebody once if it had to be natural redheads or if it was women that dyed their hair red, and they said natural. And I'm like, okay, good.
Yeah.
Although I have to admit, the only redhead I've ever been with finally kicked me out of bed 12 hours later.
Really?
Yeah.
You want to know my secret?
She wanted to sleep, and I wouldn't let her.
You know what? You want to know how I was doomed from the start? Because when I was a young teenager, I lost it to a redhead. So I was like cursed from there on.
Yeah.
I was taken advantage. I was 16 and I was taken advantage of by an 18-year-old redhead. And I loved every date we had. I'm like, boy, you can do that to me anytime, baby. Yeah, I was
I
like,
love it.
I
love
lost.
it.
Oh, and she was nuts. She was nuts. And I'm just like,
Certifiable.
this is what do they call this? This is a crash course. This is what crash course in dating and women. A semi crazy redhead when you're 16 years old. Yeah, that'll do it. So here we are.
Yeah, for sure. I love it. And Aaron Moriarty's out there going, redheads are wild.
Are wild. They are.
Yep.
Indeed.
Fiery
Indeed.
redheads.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Well-
so about the conspiracy theories, Christine.
Well, we will get there, but and this may actually
Yeah.
kind of be like a precursor to getting into
Cool.
conspiracy corner.
Cool.
Something that is part of this story, and I do like that I know now that, the demons are around, but not really
Mhm.
showing their face, and it also makes me
Right.
think of what we're living through currently. So there's missing children
Yeah.
in your story.
Yeah.
And some of your imagery, kind of
Mhm.
lends itself to, I don't know, is it satanic ritual? I don't know. Is that giving
No. No.
spoilers? What's going on?
No,
Where's the
come
children?
It's a hippie commune. They get kids drunk on rainbows. No, it's yeah, it's some serious shit. And that's why, again, the black and white is perfect for this because it adds that creepy horror, empty, cold. You know what I mean? Like, I'm drawing like crazy, between the two, trying to finish volume 2 and this. But this is it's like I'm there. You know what I mean? Like when I start getting into it, and I can feel it's like cold and windy and dry because it's the desert, and just everything has a creepy kind of dismal feel to it. You know what I mean? It's definitely fits the horror category, but I was gonna say this is such a simple story, and I know that's how you're supposed to do it. You're supposed to keep your stories as simple as possible, and this literally is a simple story. It is a hero who is actually kind of an anti-hero because he's not really a good guy. He's a bounty hunter. And it is 100% ripped off from The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, The Man with No Name, Blondie. He's my favorite guy. So I literally, Bruce, I'm Googling Clint Eastwood photos and drawing. He's got to look like him. How's he look? So I'm just totally ripping on Clint Eastwood's character from The Good, Bad, and the Ugly.
Sure.
So if you like his character from The Good, Bad, and the Ugly, well, this is for you because this was basically the character. So
I'm already signed up for it.
yeah, I appreciate it, dude. But that's your main good guy, and I call him kind of an anti-hero because he kills for money. He's a bounty hunter, so he captures or kills for money, and it's like a Western setting, and so he's kind of rough around the edges. He's not exactly a shining hero, and he just literally takes a bounty, and this mother has lost her two children. They were basically kidnapped. And this is where the whole child trafficking, human trafficking comes in from modern day. I pull because I think last time I said that's one of the biggest problems I have in the world is human trafficking, especially child trafficking. Like if I could be an advocate, I'd be an advocate for that. I'd be an advocate against the fighting whatever child trafficking. So bounty hunter. He takes the bounty to find two kids. And so he, doing his thing, tracking. And, so he tracks them down in the middle of the desert to this place, which looks to him, as he's surveying it from just studying it, it looks to him like it's an abandoned church and orphanage, right? The problem is it's not on any of his maps. He's got tons of maps. Because remember back then, it's just maps, man. You don't have, So
You don't
someone
have
had
a
to,
cell phone.
right? Someone had to make those maps. Cartographers, people had to, land. So he's got old maps, he's got current maps and stuff, and all the maps. There's not supposed to be anything here. What the hell is this? How come there's this thing here? Well, and then it just keeps getting weirder and worse
and weirder.
from that
And
point.
darker.
Yeah, but the thing is like this story is like, because it's only 24 pages right now, it's kind of fast moving, because by page 3, it's already starting to get, you know what I mean? Page 4, it's really, page 5 is really, so it's like there's not a whole lot of slow introduction downtime. It's like the first 2 pages, which are actually on the campaign, those 2 pages, that's kind of the whole, okay, well, here we are. And then the 3rd page is where he starts to discover stuff. And then it just keeps getting worse and worse and worse. And so, yeah, he discovers some really horrible shit that I have to be very careful when it comes to drawing, because I ain't going to portray certain shit. And so that was a nice creative challenge.
You have Star Wars values.
Yeah. In this one. And that was because I'm like, how in the hell am I going to do this? It's a drawing. And I don't want to say in narration, what's happening. I want you to see, but you can't see. So how do you get the point across? And one night I get the weirdest ideas, like on my balcony having a smoke or whatever, and it just hit me. I'm like, holy shit. And so again, you drop everything, fucking start sketching and throwing shit off the desk. And this is exactly, and I'm like, nailed it. So that is actually, I think, that's the page 4 or 5. And when you see it, you'll get it. You can't miss it. But it is a very safe but yet creative way to get the point across. And I think I really nailed it with this one. So I'd love to show it to you, but I don't want to ruin anything.
All right.
Right, Cosmic, don't show it. Cosmic was scrolling to see if he could find it.
No, it's not posted. No, it's on my home computer and that's it.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
No, it's not posted.
He
It's like
was
a
looking to
secret.
see if it was there.
No, no, man. No, I only have the first 2 pages on the campaign
That's
because
fine.
it starts to get dark and I don't want to risk it because it's Indiegogo. I don't know how sensitive they are. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And,
So
and
again,
wait,
what's that?
what you have up there is definitely enough to sell the book, which, by the way, you guys, I wanted to let you know that we're only $37 away from
Oh, cool.
getting Kurt to the
Oh, no
official
kidding.
goal
That's
on
cool. Thanks.
on Indiegogo. So if we can make it happen tonight on Creative Chaos, that would be fantastic. I think that would be the first time that happened on Creative Chaos. And we're on episode 74.
Wow.
It's been around for,
That's
we've been
really
doing
cool.
this for a while. And I know we don't do the major shilling, pushing
Yeah.
type of show. This is an entertainment show.
Right.
While, letting people know that it's out there. But if we can get that $37 tonight, it would make me so happy. It would make my heart full for Kurt. And just also one other thing, I did just repost at Kitty Flip City on Twitter that we're having an extended Creative Chaos. Anybody that's out there that wants to retweet it, I would, give me that naked hug. I'd be very happy.
I'm glad that stuck.
I like it. It
Good.
will never leave my mind.
Perfect. Lucky me. Perfect.
Anyway, but I think that is a good segue. We are going
Yeah.
to skip mansplain tonight because I swear to God, you guys have talked so much. It was
Ah.
like I was being mansplained all night.
We're guilty,
Okay.
Bruce. It's
All
our
right, we're
fault,
skipping
Bruce.
mansplain. We're gonna go straight in to conspiracy corner because
In the
because I know
wheel.
Kurt loves
Yeah,
conspiracy
David,
corner, and we've
I
been
love it.
chomping the bit to get there all night.
I
So
love it.
We've
we
been
may
down
do an
the
extended
conspiracy. We've been down the
What?
conspiracy rabbit hole already.
Hey, look at it this way, Bruce.
We're
If
going back.
if the choices suck, we already had a cool conspiracy. You know what I mean? So even if it's like lame choices, hey,
Okay.
we did good the first time.
This is what I'm gonna allow.
Okay.
If you and Bruce, if you spend 3 times and you and Bruce agree that it sucks so
Mhm.
bad and you just want to talk any kind of conspiracy, I'll allow it tonight.
Cool.
Because Conspiracy Corner really doesn't have any rules. But
Right.
anyway, let's get into Conspiracy Corner and maybe we'll get a couple retweets, naked hugs, and get a few more people in here.
Man,
And,
I'm gonna. Now, I love it, but it's like, yeah, that's all right. I love that you love that. That's funny.
Okay. Your mind's going dark places, sir. I can tell.
That's funny. I just said on a whim, like, and you're gonna stick with it. And I'm like,
I am.
next year I'm gonna see some post. Give me a naked hug. Oh, Christ.
Anyway, now I'm blushing again. Let's get in conspiracy corner and change the subject.
Okay.
I wanna live with a conspiracy girl. I could be prepping the rest of my life with a conspiracy girl.
Those weren't aliens.
All right, Kurt, you've been
Perfect.
here before, so you know
Yes.
that this hat protects us from
Mhm.
any kind of shadow banning or
right.
full banning, all that kind of stuff. So we get to speak freely in Conspiracy Corner.
Perfect.
All right, we're going to bring the wheel up. I'm going to remind you and anybody out there that's never been part of this awesome Creative Chaos stream. Here is how the wheel works. Kurt gets to spin 3 times. He can choose to stick with the first or second topic, but if he chooses to spin a 3rd time, he's stuck with that topic. But also, we threw that rule out the window. So if he thinks it sucks, then but Bruce also has to agree that it
Right.
sucks.
Hey,
then you guys-
can Bruce be my? Remember, like in those game shows when they would allow them to like ask the audience for help or something.
Phone a friend.
Can that be Bruce? Can I be like when it stops? Can I say, Bruce, what do you think, buddy?
Okay.
And
Yes.
you can go like,
Sure. I like
okay,
it.
cool.
I like it. Sometimes Bruce likes to get teachy in Conspiracy Corner as well.
Good.
You know, so if somebody starts
Good.
talking on a conspiracy the wrong way, he'll correct them.
That's good.
Oh, you've noticed that, huh?
He's like,
Not
no, that's
correction.
not what that means.
Not a correction, just a redirect.
Okay, and Vulcan branded it Phone Bruce. I like it. Hey, this may stick as well. Who
Hey.
knows? All right, so are you ready to spin the wheel?
Yeah.
Let's
Let's
do
do
it.
it.
Organized crime and world governments. I feel like we've landed on this recently, but of course,
Mhm.
everybody has. There's a lot to say about it.
I don't remember
Yeah.
landing on it. It may have been one time when I wasn't here, which is rare, but I don't remember landing on organized crime.
We're gonna have to spin it. It's like kind of almost too mellow, like too tame at the top. I want
Well,
something
it's
really
already been
gritty.
exposed.
All
It's
right.
already been
Yeah.
exposed.
I want a topic that's like a rusted knife that you stick in and twist and rip out and that's the
Ooh.
kind of shit that I want.
Dude, I'm getting blushed again.
Scott, need your pronto, buddy.
All right,
I'll get you in trouble.
let's spin again.
Ooh, transhumanism.
Hmm.
yeah,
What do you think, Bruce? I don't know much about it.
not something I'm really up to discussing either. I'm not big on it, but
Good enough. Spin again.
All right.
spin the wheel.
You know, I know you guys are just doing this because you want to just talk about whatever you want. So,
Third time's a charm. Let's see. What we got?
yeah, and Levi's hoping for 2 drops because we've never landed on it, and that was his addition.
Legacy Media.
All right, you guys get to talk whatever shit you want.
Wow.
Yeah,
You know you're not going to talk about that.
legacy media is happening every day. It's just
Yeah.
we know it's fake. We know it's Mockingbird media. So
You know what? You should, if you come to think of it, Bruce, you should pull that off the wheel because it's not conspiracy anymore.
this is true. But it's not mine.
we know
It's not mine to
bullshit.
pull. It's not mine to pull. La Jefa
I-
has to agree to it.
I've actually been promising to like,
Change the wheel.
to change the wheel. There's a lot of kind of meh things
Yeah.
on there, and that's one of them. Legacy Media needs to
Because
go. I agree.
again, it's it was a conspiracy. What I mean, just what 3, 4, 5 years ago, right?
But it's been proven to be.
It's been proven over and over by so many credible people that it's lies and bullshit and everything. And it's like it's not a conspiracy anymore. So yeah, I'd say yank it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, so what do
Future
you guys want
proves
to talk about?
past. Future proves past.
Yeah.
Future proves past. Future
Last-
proves past. Future proves past. Okay, thank you.
Because-
I'm telling you, it's like, and again, this kind of goes back to what we were talking to earlier in the show with it, how it just strips down to like, good versus evil, light versus darkness, all that stuff. And
Thank you.
it's a reoccurring theme in everything, man. Every story, movie, poem, whatever, it's that whole struggle. You know what I'm saying? And again, that's the whole balance is here's an interesting thought. Let's just say it's impossible, but let's just say you could wipe evil out. Like every evil person and creature in existence dead. Okay, right? So there's only nothing but good people, right? What do you think?
Utopia.
Until the least good person is discovered, and guess who they are? Now they're evil because they're the bottom of the ladder. So the least good person is now the worst person on the planet. They're evil. Kill them.
Elon Musk today.
Yeah. I mean, dude, it sucks.
Elon Musk needed to be the villain. Elon Musk, I joked about it a lot. I always used to say, I still say it.
Yeah.
Elon Musk is just one bad day away from becoming Dr. Evil.
A supervillain, yeah. Because he's got the money, he's got the knowledge, he's a genius.
#1 DARPA contractor in the world. He's already created Skynet. He's already created the Terminators, the precursor to.
Yeah.
He's got neural implants, so we're almost into the Matrix all the way.
Yeah.
He'll put us into battery pods and gelatin and put that little implant in and drain your body's energy to create and keep the Matrix going in your mind.
Yeah. When I saw this today on Twitter, and I wasn't the only one because I started seeing big accounts here and there posting stuff, and someone posted a Grok AI image, of course, of Trump and Elon sitting next to each other on their phones, laughing their asses off. And they basically said, I think this is all a fucking joke. I think they're fucking with us. And I was like, please, God, tell me, please. That's what I'm hoping. I'm like, I wouldn't put it past these two to say, hey, how about we fuck with the American people to test them, to see who's. And I'm like, I know it's probably not, unfortunately, it's probably not real, but wouldn't that be cool if it was? Wouldn't that be cool if those two were just like, hey, let's see what people do.
You've read The Art of War.
Yeah.
Now read, if you haven't already, The Art of the Deal.
Okay.
Everything Trump is doing is right in his book.
Yeah.
Everything. And I'll bet if I go back and I read another chapter or two, I'll find something.
Right.
Same thing. And Benjamin Netanyahu, exactly.
Yeah.
He's feigning anger at Netanyahu. He's feigning anger at Putin and Zelensky.
Yeah.
So what purpose do you guys think, though?
I'm sorry?
Why? What's the purpose? Why?
To make America fall for the hero, to make America see there's, people could be bad, but they could also, like, there's going to be something coming around. Truth, what is it? Cosmic Grandpa. Trust the plan. Yes, exactly. Trust the plan.
And he's got the little Q frog
with
thing.
the Q frog.
Yeah.
The El Pepe. But it's a distraction to what's going on in the background, I believe. There's all this other stuff that's out there that's getting done. and they needed to distract over here. So they're like, this got dropped yesterday. This took precedence today, tomorrow.
Right.
What's today? Today's Thursday night.
Right.
What's going to completely take over the media circus for the next 72 hours?
Right.
Nobody's going to be talking about anything but Elon Musk and
Mhm.
Donald Trump hate each other now.
Yeah.
Ooh, he's
Yeah.
the new bad guy. Oh,
Yep.
and then the Democrats, or as I like to call them, demon rats, will
Right.
start backing Elon Musk again.
Right.
And the conservatives will become even more angry at Elon Musk.
Yeah.
And he's it's a farce. It's a great story arc. I mean,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
But that's the thing too. It actually is a decent play because a decent amount of free thinking people like us are still like, oh, it's all just for show.
Yeah.
We're watching a
So-
movie.
Yeah.
what I
Calm
want to
down.
do is 10 years from now, I
Mhm.
want to write and help produce a movie about the last 12 years.
This
Okay.
window. Yeah.
This window of 12 years from
Mhm.
2016 to 2028. I want to encapsulate that in one movie
Yeah.
and call it the Trump era, because the 45th president and the 47th president are bookending the career of Donald Trump.
Right.
His political career is now bookended, and in the middle is what he had to do to regain
Mhm.
power. And he's always had the power. He's
Yeah.
been in charge this whole time.
Yeah. I'm with you. I believe I know for sure almost within 10 plus years, dude, if there's not like major motion picture type documentaries, I think there's going to be tons of documentaries on this window of 10 years. I mean, think about, the woke, all the woke shit. That the woke agenda became public in 2014, right? And we are now at 2025. So that was 11 years ago. And it all checks out because it wasn't really around in 2010. I remember. I noticed a change in Hollywood in 2010, but it wasn't
that was
out,
during
right?
That was Obama, wasn't it?
Yeah. Things were, what the fuck is going on? And something's off. Something's wrong. But it wasn't like the face hadn't been revealed. The monster hadn't been revealed yet. But 2014 is when wokeism became public, mainstream, and everyone's talking about, okay. So think about that was a decade ago. Look at the last decade. It's almost like that was a marker. That was like the fucking start, the gun, 2014 woke era, because look how that encompassed everything, and it still has. And the people, we've defeated it. I'm like, you fucking idiots. No, you shitting me? Not defeated. It's still everywhere, man. It's still in comics. It's still in Hollywood. It's still in politics. It's still in schools. It's still in. I mean, it's just like it's not defeated. It's slowly getting defeated, but it's not even close to being gone, man.
So this was the 30-year plan, right? Did you ever watch whether you've seen it recently or in the past, 18 years? Yuri Bezmenov was a KGB defector to the United States.
Mm-hmm.
And in 1987, he gave an interview, and he said that they can fundamentally change America with a slow burn. This is not an immediate overnight thing.
Right.
This is going to take 30 to 40 years to cycle through.
Yeah,
And
he basically laid out the plan.
Yeah.
That
he did.
He
did. And China implemented it. If you watch the original Manchurian Candidate from 1961, it's exactly what we lived through these last 30, 40 years. I mean,
and that's what's scary, is that they predicted it way back. I mean, I wasn't alive in 1961. That's insane that that's how far back they started thinking of this and everything, and it's happening now. It's just like, Jesus.
But the conspiracy is
Yeah.
that it was the CIA that created the movie to desensitize us to the possibility
Wow.
this could really happen.
Mm.
And just like they did with Palestine, Ohio, 2 years earlier, they wrote
Yeah.
a movie about a trail derailing in Ohio
Yeah.
near Palestine, and they used Palestine citizens in the movie as extras.
That's
And 2
crazy.
years later, there was a Palestine, Ohio
Yeah.
train derailment chemical spill that
Yeah.
caused unimmeasurable amounts of
Yeah.
damage to the earth, the land, the soil, and devastated the town.
Yeah. It's
Just like the movie told what
scary.
would happen.
I know. And there's a few movies like that. And like I said, like
That's why they say it's the CIA. That's why they say it's a conspiracy by
Yeah.
the CIA using
Yeah.
Hollyweird to
Yeah.
tell us what's going to happen.
But
Because
then again, I also think there are certain individuals, very, very few, and ironically, since Star Wars, I honestly think Lucas is one of them. I think that these creative geniuses, they either they have a sense or they foresee something. But if and Cameron's another one, James Cameron with Terminator and stuff, right? I honestly think that these guys are like, I have to make this sci-fi movie because I think that they see this as coming, and they're like, it's so outlandish, they're going to call me crazy if I make this like a documentary. So I'm going to make it some crazy sci-fi movie. So they're like, wow, look at all the lasers and spaceships and cool shit. But yet the core of it is going to happen in 20, 30 years. You know what I mean? I seriously think there's certain directors that do that. And I think Lucas is one of them and Cameron's another, where they kind of have this little weird sight into the future, like 20, 30, 40 years down the road.
Yep.
And they're like, the public isn't going to deal with this unless I make it some crazy sci-fi movie like Terminator or the Star Wars, trilogy, whatever. And then 20, 30 years later, we're starting to see all this stuff like surface in our news, and we're like, wait a minute, this reminds me of Star Wars when Palpatine took over the government and what the fuck, and hey, AI and robots taking over. This reminds me of Terminator. You know what I'm saying? It's weird, dude.
Isaac Asimov wrote the book,
Yeah.
I, Robot.
Right.
Right? So
I read him as a kid. He's cool author. Yeah.
So, I mean, go back to the Scientology books even.
Right.
Scientology started out as a book somebody wrote.
Right.
And then somebody in Hollyweird decided to make it a freaking religion, and now it's a cult and you have to join.
Yeah. Wasn't it L. Ron Hubbard's, wasn't it called Dianetics with the volcano on the front?
Yes,
correct.
that is it.
That was the book. It was Dianetics.
Dianetics.
This big volcano on the front. And as a kid, I remember seeing that fucking book. It was
My
like
uncle-
everywhere. It was everywhere.
My uncle read that book in high school,
Wow.
and I found his old copy in his old bedroom
Wow.
when my grandmother was still living there. God rest her soul. But
Mhm.
he always had that book. So I always remember seeing it, never read it, but then, of course, the movie and everything else. And
Right.
now it's just become
Yeah.
hell's.
It's a cult. It's a huge cult now.
It's huge. And, of
Yeah.
course, you got Travolta and
Tom Cruise.
Tom Cruise as the key members, people everybody recognizes and knows they're part of Scientology.
No.
And it just doesn't stop.
Yeah.
And Pops is now texting me as I did to him in the middle of the show this morning. Pops, I'm live, damn it.
Well, he probably didn't because it's been we've gone over 2 hours, so he's probably thinking the show's over. So tell him I apologize. Say, Doc, my bad. I'm talking too much.
No, he knows. He's probably still in the chats.
Oh, sorry.
No, I did not talk to Cosmac Grandpa yet. There's your answer. Okay, let's move on, please. Kurt, I'm good if you're good. Christy, I'm good if you're good.
Yeah.
Well, cults
Cosmac,
are a
if you're
thing.
good, I'm good.
I'm obsessed with cult, like finding out everything out I possibly can about cults. Like the Heaven's Gate thing, and
Yeah.
Scientology is a cult.
A big one. That's a big one.
You talk about cults, and one of the guests mentioned this book, Chaos, to me, and it talks about, it's basically a breakdown of the Charles Manson murders and how this guy is an investigative reporter. You want to read a really good conspiracy book? Read Chaos. Holy shit.
Just go
I read
Chaos.
I read a book prior to that called Weird Scenes Inside the Canyon.
Hmm.
And it talks about how the CIA and MK Ultra mind control, how the Tonkin Golf incident was Jim Morrison's father who kicked it off, that it was all a scam. And so how Hollyweird is embedded in CIA and CIA is embedded in Hollywood. They have their own recording studio, their own movie studio, all in Laurel Canyon. And it's government. It's a government hive, basically.
Yeah. Yeah.
And all the kids from the 60s caused what's going are being used as pawns, as Charles Manson was. It brings out to light all kinds of crazy stuff about Charles Manson. So if you like that culty stuff, Christy, get the book Chaos and read it. It'll blow your mind.
You know, I've been meaning to do audiobooks, and I know that's what you do, so maybe I'll get the audiobook.
So much easier to listen during the day. Listen to a book.
Quick question for both of you. Quick question for both of you about this. Do either of you think there was a time in our country where the government was, mostly good and straightforward, and there wasn't all this shadow shit and hidden cabals and agenda crap? Like, was there ever a time where it actually was a good government and for the people and everything, and there wasn't?
I don't know, actually.
And then
the more I learn, with like the Masonic symbolism in like from early on from the development of the country, I'm not sure.
David and Cap put it out there before 1913.
What's 1913?
And I'll even go earlier than that. What year was George Washington president? I think the only president we've ever had that was not corrupted, or the only government that was not corrupted, was
Civil War.
George Washington.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Because what wound up happening down the road with Lincoln? They assassinated him because there was factions within factions within factions.
Yeah. It sucks. Because I keep thinking, the 50s, happy days? No. Then you go to World War II? No. There's some fucked up shit in World War II. You know what I mean? And it just keeps going back about, and you're like, so was the government always corrupt? Has it always been this way? I just can't believe, or I don't want to believe, that the founding fathers and how that they were this corrupt and screwed up. I can't believe it. I'm like, I just can't believe that they risked everything going from England to discovering here, and that whole nightmare situation of discovery and everything, to just say it's all dark and shady and seedy and pedophilia crap. You know what I mean? No, it had to be a time where it was good. It had to be. And then eventually became, over decades and years, corrupt little by little. You know what I mean? Secrets and whispers, and that's, right or no? Or you think it's always been?
Yes, absolutely. I'm trying to remember the quote.
Creation of the Federal Reserve was 1913. Okay.
And I'll tell you what, David and Cap, if you really want a good book to read on that one, Creature from Jekyll Island, if you haven't already read it, is all about the creation of the Fed and how J.P. Morgan Chase and his band of merry men, Rothschilds, etc., killed off those that were opposed to creating the Fed by putting them and their families on the Titanic and sinking it.
Wow. Yeah. Which
is all part and parcel of that whole creation of the Fed. But I'm trying to think of the quote. A republic is attributed, the phrase you're referring to is a public.
Are you Googling or are you using
I'm
AI?
I'm Googling. Talks about civics responsibility. Somebody asked him a question. He said, "You can it's a republic if you can keep it," something to that effect. Where we are a republic, we are not a democracy.
Right.
We have democratic rulings, but we are not a democracy. We are a republic. and people don't know the difference. They've dumbed down society.
Yeah.
The movie itself, Idiocracy.
Idiocracy, yeah. Yeah.
That's basically what we're living right now.
Yeah, it
These
is.
people are so freaking programmed and,
Yeah.
pardon me, stupid.
Yeah.
They suffer from TDS.
Yeah.
You know, they scream at you if they don't have the right answer.
Yeah.
They call you every name under the sun, or they feign being hurt, or what is it? That offends me. Oh,
Yeah.
fuck you.
Yeah.
You know, you can't trample on my rights with being offended. Go fuck.
And Bruce, because I have this talk with certain friends of my generation. We go back. If we were 80, 85 years old, Bruce, old guys, and I remember when I was a kid, okay, it would fucking make sense. Bruce, we ain't. We're like middle-aged, waning until, you know what I'm saying? We're not old yet, right? And in this short amount of time, we're talking, 30 years, 3 decades? We remember how life was fucking amazingly so much better and different, dude. I mean,
we talk about
colored photos of our childhood, and there wasn't any of this weird shit. None of it. And
we talk about simpler times. The grandparents used to talk about simpler times. We are the survivors of simpler times, and now we're living through this bizarro world.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm actually not too worried about it. It seems to me that the kids are waking up to the wokeness, sick and tired of it. They're becoming racist AF, and they're rejecting it. Right. So, I mean, I think it's all going to correct itself.
Again, everything, it's life and death, man. Everything's going to die sometime, whether it's an ideal or a living creature or whatever. And nothing goes forever, right? And this whole phase, and again, Bruce, this is the 11-year mark, 2014 to 2025. I'm telling you, dude, that's another thing. Decades. Think about it. Decades recycle. Oh, there was the 70s, hippies, disco, all the 80s. Oh, neon and short hair and physical fitness and Schwarzenegger and Reagan. And the 90s, grunge, man, and darkness and Kurt Cobain. Fuck yeah. And then the 2000s. Okay, so every 10 years, a decade, things. It's like culture and everything kind of recycles, and we're at the fucking mark. See what I'm saying? 11 years, buddy. So I think overall people are just sick of this shit. I think everyone is finally fucking tired of this bullshit, of the fucking pronoun crowd and these goddamn rules and this weird shit and the sensitiveness and all, just everything. And it's obviously our generation sick of it, and anyone older than us is sick of it. But like Chrissy just said, the young generation, I think they are smart enough where they're seeing it and they're like, you know what? This really is kind of retarded. This really is kind of weird. What the fuck is going on here? And I think they're waking up too. And that's the only hope, is that it is a cycle that hopefully within a year or two, this phase will be over. Now what's scary is, okay, well, so that's the next phase. You know what I mean? Hopefully it's a better one, where people come back to reality and sanity. And I don't feel like I'm the only sane fucking person in the whole area, because that's really scary, because I'm fucking kind of nuts. I tell my older brother, I said, dude, all the time, I tell my brother, because he's my brother, me since, and I'm like, dude, I said, when my crazy, fucked up, weird ass is saying, what the fuck is wrong with everybody? They're crazy. I said, you got problems. You know what I'm saying? Because it's I was the crazy one. He's weird. He thinks different. Because everyone was so fucking normal back then. I was the crazy person, right? Well, when me is the normal, sane, responsible person, that shows you how fucked up the world is. I'm serious.
And one thing I wanted to just comment about that is, why do you think God made Moses just traipse the desert for 40 years with the Jews that came out of Egypt, the slaves? Because he wanted to break the slave mentality.
Yeah.
It took 40 years for that to happen.
Yeah.
And that's in the Bible.
Yeah.
So what are we doing now? We have to go I'm 60.
Are you?
God willing, I'll make it to 100.
Oh, you should, dude. If you're, I thought you were like fucking 50 something.
You know what? I'm 18 up here still.
That's why.
Yeah.
That's why. Because yeah, the mind and the heart is young, and I swear it reflects on the outside. I swear to God, and that's why, man.
If
That's
I
cool.
shaved the stash and the beard, I'd look like I was in my late 40s.
That's cool. Yeah.
Ooh.
Well, you're doing it right. Stay that way. That's cool, man.
That's it. You know, it's
It's-
all up here. It's all up
Yeah.
here.
Well,
Yeah.
it's
Mind over
that and
matter.
smoking all the weed.
Well, that helps with the pain, so I can. I
Right.
want
No, it's an attitude thing too.
Yeah,
it,
it is.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, Bruce, what you're saying about the slavery, you're right. And I mean, we all see it, obviously, the whole, I call them drones. I say drone mentality. You know, the let's
The
change.
sheeple.
Yeah, we see it on Twitter, you know, the whole meme of you have the Ukraine flag pinned on your profile. And then next it's China. And that's the fucking drone mentality. It's just whatever the orders are from above, well, you don't even question it. You just fucking follow them. That's a fucking drone, right? And that's
What do
scary
they
'cause
say?
there's a lot
Shit
of them.
trickles downhill.
Yeah.
Shit trickles downhill.
Yeah. But you know what I'm saying? The fact that and I mean, we're talking millions of people. You know, if it was a sect of 100,000, some weird cult somewhere, you know, okay. Dude, we're talking like almost half the fucking country thinks this way. That's scary. That drone mentality is that vast. It's like, yeah, it's going to take a while before things are reset. It's anywhere close to being normal. You know what I mean? Because not only, it's not like you can just exterminate them all. Okay, we're going to line them all up and that's it, right? That'd be the easy way. You know, illegal, but that's the easy way. But it's a reprogramming. That's a hell of a lot harder and longer than just simply, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So there's like your 40-year thing referring to the Bible. Maybe it will take 4 decades of stuff before everything's reset back to normal. I don't know. But all I know is that I'm not the only one that sees everything as fucking upside down, you know? And right when you think it's starting to, it's the ship's starting to like, you know, reset, and then something like today happened with these two fucking powerful figures going at it like a bunch of fucking high school girls on Twitter, and you're like, what the hell is going on, man? No, I mean, you know what I'm saying? I mean,
I agree.
Dude,
I agree.
The richest man on the planet, not the country or the hemisphere, dude, planet Earth, he's number one. Think how fucked up that is. That's insane if you think about it. That we can literally say, on the entire planet, one man is at the top. And that's this fucker, Elon, right?
Yeah.
And Donald Trump, you know, I mean, you know, he's, you know, some think he's practically a god, you know what I mean? So when you've got these two superheroes, basically, who 1 minute, they're like fucking bromancing together, okay? And then all of a sudden, like on a fucking dime in the course of a week, now they're throwing shit at each other.
Doing it publicly, please.
What? Yeah, and so part of me, the sixth sense of humor, hopeful side of me, says this is a fucking act. They're fucking with us. You know, they're messing with us, and I hope to God it's right. But unfortunately, I think that's wishing. I don't know. I can't see it. I think it's just fucked up. What's going on?
But that's part of the whole storyline.
Yeah.
You've got, you know, you've got the evil cabal.
Yeah.
And you've got the saviors. And Trump and Musk as saviors are now fighting with each other.
Right.
You know, think about, you know, Batman and Superman. They were
Right.
bitter enemies and now they're best buds.
Right. Exactly. Do you see how it's all like a fucking story? And again, Bruce, it's like I said, even though everything's crazy and we're confused and insane, I'm glad we're fucking here to witness it. That's all I gotta say. Because we could have been born in some boring ass fucking time where nothing happens in 100. You know what I mean? But it's like, no, man, we are here, and they're gonna be writing shit about this, and
forever.
We're here. We literally will be characters in a future history book, man.
Yeah. They will definitely be speaking on the meme wars, and I've been saying over the last 7-ish years, like, funnest war ever. Like, everybody calm down.
Yeah.
Like, stop being so stressed out. I know it sucks. A lot of it sucks.
Yeah.
But really, funnest war ever. I mean, we're not out there getting, butchered in the streets and shit like that. Like
Yeah.
the Civil War is bomb.
No.
Also, I just want to take one moment to say
Sure.
hello and welcome to the 757 Hustle Show. I've never seen your username. This is Creative Chaos. I hope you're enjoying the show. And Christian Zaffo popping in and saying, sup.
So Pilled by the Rabbit just made a comment. Cosmac, could you put it back up? Because I don't see it there.
Oh, I missed it.
Maybe it's just distractions.
Yeah.
That's what I said earlier.
Yeah.
This is the new shiny because a lot of shit's going on in the background.
Right.
You got Cash Patel and Dan Bongino doing some serious deep dive digging. And that
Yeah.
whole thing with Dan Bongino saying, yeah, Elon Musk killed him. Not Elon Musk, I'm sorry.
Epstein.
Jeffrey Epstein did really kill himself.
Right.
Well, Dan never looked directly into the camera.
Mhm.
Dan has tells. Dan has tells. If you ever play cards with Dan Bongino, he's got tells. And
Yeah.
I saw his tell when he said, and reading off of a piece of paper
Right.
and not looking directly into the camera.
Mhm.
Okay, I believe you, Dan. Yes,
Yeah.
I do.
But who's giving the orders? That's what's pissing me off. Trump was supposed to set shit right. You know what I mean? It's like, right? I mean,
Wait.
something's going on where what the fuck is happening under his power? What's
Okay.
going on?
So here's what's going on. Or here's my interpretation
Right.
of what's going on.
Right.
Okay. There's a lot of legal. He's trying to bring back things the legal way, the proper way. Justice is blind, not
Right.
this two-tier justice.
Right.
So in
right,
order for that to happen, investigations have to go on.
right.
How long do you think it's going to take for an investigation, start to finish, go on for any one of these politicians that has been lying, cheating, stealing,
Yeah.
and ripping us off their entire 40-year career? Hello,
Yeah.
Nancy fucking Pelosi.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
There was a Mendez. You remember this guy Mendez that got convicted for taking the gold bar? He was a congressman. Forgot his friggin' name.
Mm-mm.
It took
So much happens.
255 days for them to investigate him
Wow.
and to find him guilty.
Jeez.
255 days.
Yeah.
We're just past the 140-day mark.
Yeah. True.
There's still another 100 or 90 some odd days to go if we're
Right.
holding to that timeline. And what's in 90 days? 90 days. There's an election happening. There's a midterm coming up,
Yeah.
and that's happening this month.
Yeah.
So there are going to be things that are churning slowly. Don't expect answers overnight.
Right.
So whatever's going on over here, they don't want you to know about it because
Mm.
that will jeopardize their results.
The
They need to show you
yeah.
this over here so
Yeah.
this can get finished. Because once
Yeah.
this finished, Nancy Pelosi, Adam Schiff, Fartswell will all be swinging from Trump's thing because
Right.
they're gonna kiss his ass to
Yeah.
try and save themselves. And
Yeah.
all those pardons with the auto pen that happened
Nuts.
are null and void, and they're
I
going
hope.
to prove it,
Dude,
and
I
they're
hope
going
so.
to. But give it time; it's not
Yeah.
going to happen.
It's not gonna happen. Right. Yeah.
I'm thinking, okay. Maybe by the third year, we'll start seeing all of these assholes going to jail or resigning or committing suicide or
Yeah.
stepping down or
Yeah.
accidentally dying.
Right. I mean, you're right. I got one. I hope you're right. I really do hope you're right. But again, it's perspective. As in this is early on in the administration still, and it's like all of this shit has been discovered this early on, and so of course American people are like, well, do something, start arresting people. But you're right. You can't just bust into Adam Schiff's office, cuff it. I mean, I wish we could. That'd be fucking great. But you can't,
But they accused us of doing that. Yeah, they accused us of doing that on January 6th, and we didn't. That was all a setup. That was all a honeypot.
Yeah.
But you're right. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off.
But no, as in you're right. When you put stuff into perspective, right? So if this is just being discovered now, and all this shit is going on, yeah, the way the government does, and unfortunately, government takes a hell of a lot even longer than they should. But that's how it is. Yeah, you're right. With the trials and fucking court systems and convictions and paperwork and more paperwork and more paperwork and fucking jurors dropping out or dying and corrupt. This nightmare of red tape that goes on before anyone can be like, convicted, sentenced, whatever. That doesn't happen in a month or 6 months or a year. You're right. So now we're talking, maybe third year, maybe fourth year of administration. Maybe this will be Trump's big going out with a bang. She's in jail. He's in jail. Fucking get them all in jail. Have a good one. I'm out of here.
Christian Zaffo already commented. One judge is already on the hook, right? No, actually, you're wrong. There's 2 judges and possibly a third, and the lawyers that were involved. Look at what's going on with Letitia James.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right? So it's not just the judges now that are on the hook, but it's the lawyers that went up against him. I know you want to believe Vulcan lives. Vulcan live. do have faith, okay? Like my hat pin says, think like a proton and stay positive, okay?
There you go.
Think like a proton and stay positive.
That's a good saying.
I'm telling you, all the truths will be revealed. I was cute-hearted in the beginning like everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
I've come to see the light, and I've come to see it for what it is. Get your popcorn out, enjoy the show. Well, I am enjoying the show, but I'm also getting involved, okay?
Yeah.
I am an election inspector for my district. I'm going to be up at my elementary school where my kids went to elementary school on election day this month.
Really?
Okay.
Good man.
And I'm doing my civic duty. I belong to the John Birch Society. I belong to a local conservative organization here.
Bruce, you're always like dutying civically.
That's cool.
Because
you're really good at it.
Because I feel it's my responsibility. It's a republic if you can keep it. Thank you, Benjamin Franklin, because I'm trying to keep my republic. And I, along with all the other conservative people out here, like yourself, like Christy, are doing their part. You're writing comic books. She's writing a joke book that keeps people on the, people who might be on the edge and they get a copy of Flip City magazine now have something to laugh about. And they can keep that positive attitude.
Yeah. Yeah.
So please stay positive out there, people. This is my soapbox. This is it for the night. I appreciate you listening to me bullshit and rip and rant and go off the deep end. But I'm telling you, stay positive because positive thoughts breed positive actions. I truly believe that. I believe in Hashem. I go to morning services as often as I can, and I do pray to God. I pray to God wherever I am, whenever I am, but I do like to go to synagogue and do it during the weekdays.
That's cool. Yeah, man. I hear you, Christy. Hey, this is a good spot to wrap it up if you guys are cool with it. Because I got to...
well, we still have to rebrand you, bro.
We have to do what?
One more segment.
Oh,
yeah.
shit. Okay.
But it's an easy one. It's a really easy one. Yeah, so your branding has faded, and everybody that watches this show regularly knows you need to read a piece of Flip City content to keep your branding fresh.
Right.
And I can't wait to brand you again. All right. So I picked something pretty simple for you. Flip City writes a lot on movies, either, and they're usually movies you haven't ever heard of.
Okay.
And you get to choose from a gaggle of them. So, cause if we can bring up the Flip City movies, and you're going to choose one of these titles to read about. Here they are. The titles are going to come up in just a sec. Amazon Planet, West Bank Story, Superman, Into the Soyverse, Kill Bill 3, Epstein Fantasy Island, The Therapist, Sodomite the Movie, Die Hard on an Island, or swatted on Christmas.
Good God. Jeez. Okay.
You don't have
let
to
me-
read them all. You just choose one.
No, I know. It's between a toss up. Let's see. What do we got? It's a toss up. Let's see. So far between the Epstein Fantasy Island and Die Hard 9. Something about islands is cool. But Kill Bill 3 is cool. I mean, shit, I don't know. Bruce, I need your help. What do you think, buddy?
I was the same one as you, the same two that you were looking at. Epstein Fantasy Island, and Die Hard on an Island.
The island. So, what do you think,
Are we
Christine?
sticking with an island theme? Why don't we
Yes.
go with Epstein Fantasy Island?
I say we
There you
let
go.
him do both. Let him do both.
I'll just do one. Epstein Fantasy Island. There's gonna be no one watching. They're gonna be like, "You guys won't shut the hell up. I'm out of here." What is this?
All right, can you see it? You
I
can
can see
embiggen
it.
it.
I can
Okay,
see it.
cool.
Did I read this?
Well, dreams become a reality on Epstein Island.
So
Can you
I
read
read. I read this.
Yes.
As if you're giving it a rate.
As if I'm what?
As if you're giving it a rating.
You
You're
can
reviewing
disagree
it.
with our rating, just
Okay.
based on the synopsis here.
So, is there any certain voice I need to read it in, or?
You choose. It's
You
up to you.
choose.
Okay, hold on. Let me. Okay. Drink.
He's got to clear
I'm-
his throat, everybody.
Yeah, I'm just scanning real quick to get the. Okay, I'll just read it like a. Okay, so this is like a dreams become reality on Epstein Fantasy Island. In this new animated cartoon named Strictly at the Teen Crowd, the mysterious Mr. Epstein runs a magical island where young nubiles come to make his fantasies become reality. With his faithful assistant Gissy, they launch underage girls on their way to fame and stardom and priceless industry connections. All these come at a cost, however, as these entitled young ladies find that they are expected to work off their debts, and Epstein and Gizzy put them through the motions. 5-star rating, Epstein Fantasy Island, coming to a theater near you. How's that? Is that cool?
Bet you didn't know that existed.
That was a good one. Good choice. That works, especially with our whole conversation.
Yes, absolutely. Well, Kurt, thank you so much for being here tonight. I did refresh your campaign. I don't believe I'm going to refresh it one more time, but I don't think we got you that last
That's fine.
$37.
I'm
But
grateful that I got some more backers. That was cool.
you did get more backers. You guys go check out Kurt's campaign over on Indiegogo. I will drop the link again. But besides backing your campaign, Kurt, what can people do for you?
Just I don't know. How can you? Again, if you see me on Twitter, I appreciate likes and the reposts. I haven't been doing much on my YouTube channel because I'm working on 2.5 books, so I don't really do many shows. Oh shit! But however, Christy, Saturday night we may do the casual hangout on my show.
Oh,
Remember, you're like,
that's
"Hey, let me
cool.
know."
Yes.
2 nights. I know if you're busy, but if you're free in 2 nights, I'll know for sure Saturday, but I might do a live stream on my show, just a casual hangout talk kind of thing with that friend of mine and maybe someone else.
Would that be Tyler?
EK.
Oh,
He was
EK, I don't
on
know if
last
I've
time.
met.
Yeah, he's a bald, kind of big. He's a friend
Oh,
of mine
yes,
from college.
yes, he's
He's got the
wonderful.
dogs. He loves dogs.
Yes, I remember
Yeah.
now.
That's that. I'll let you know Saturday night. But yeah, basically it's just like if you can spread the word about the book and have people check into it. And then again, I've got a couple trailers on my YouTube channel. So I would just say check out my YouTube channel for more
That's
for
right.
more
And
information.
they're good trailers. It gives you a real feel for for what Kurt's doing
Yeah.
with his Between Angels and Demons. That's what
Yeah.
it's
What's the link, please?
To my
What's the YouTube channel name?
I'll look it up and I'll drop it in the chat. And
it's like
so-
added centric, I think, is all right. Just added centric, right?
I will double check. I'll make sure to get the link in there. I did
Yeah.
not link the YouTube in the
No,
description,
that's no big
so
deal.
it will be in the chat. But Bruce, while I'm looking for that, where can people find you?
So, outside of being here, you can find Bruce on the Loose every Sunday night at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, or Big Apple Time, as I like to say, 4 o'clock Avocado Time, with our producer, Cosmic Grandpa, and two other fine gentlemen, where we talk about beer, pop culture, technology, and just have a nice casual evening talking about fun stuff that we geek out on all night long.
Is that on YouTube or is that another platform?
It's on pill.net. It's actually, write this down, Kurt.
Yeah.
You can find us on Rumble. You can find us on DLive. But go to the website, the number 3,
Right.
beermen.tv. All lowercase, no spaces. 3beermen.tv.
MEN. Beer men. 3 beer men.
3beermen.tv. The number 3, then beermen.tv. And there's a watch here button. You click on that, and it gives you all the places to watch us.
Awesome. I will check it out.
And it's every Sunday night at 9 o'clock. 7 o'clock.
As in Eastern time.
Eastern
7,
time. Eastern time.
7 o'clock Sunday night.
7 o'clock Sunday nights. Cozy AF with 3 beermen.
Cool, man.
It's a fun variety show.
And one more thing, guys. Remember to like, subscribe, share it out, ring that bell. And if you're on pill.net, like, share, subscribe,
Perfect.
ring the bell, and spin that red pill and make it red. Thank you, good sir.
That's fantastic. And you guys, as far as Creative Chaos goes, it would not exist without Flip City Magazine, because we did create it to not only shine a spotlight on other fantastic people creating fascinating things outside the mainstream. Flip City Magazine does it too, but ours is a comic satire magazine like Mad Magazine was back in the day, and we take the shit out of pop culture, entertainment, and politics, and it's very, very, very funny. We do have a live campaign running right now on Fund My Comic. You can find that at fundmycomic.com/FlipCity25. And besides that, we do all kinds of fun collaborations and stuff like that. If you're not already subscribed to our YouTube, I'd say do that as well, because we give updates on there. And something I never mentioned, and I think I'm going to mention more often, we are on Substack, and it's another good way to get to know what Flip City Magazine is, because we do republish some of our old stuff that was in print, and then also give spoilers and publish newer stuff if you subscribe to our Substack. So we're pretty much Flip City Mag all across platforms. And yeah, that's going to do it for tonight, Kurt. It was wonderful catching up with you.
Thanks you so much for all of you both, and the producer and everybody.
All right.
I love it, dude. Yeah, perfect. Yeah, that's me. That's it. So thanks. But yeah, good to see you again, Bruce and Christy. Of course, always good to see you. And everyone in the chat.
You're more than welcome to hang out backstage if you want, but I know you actually have a life. Anyway, but we're gonna end it publicly.
Thank you,
guys
Kurt.
next week.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you so much, Kurt. It was wonderful having you tonight. Bullshitting again. It was fun. We went way off topic, but we had a lot of fun.
That's all right.
Okay, class. List everything insensitive, exclusionary, bigoted, nationalistic, misogynistic, and offensive that you can find in history's great myths and legends. Extra points for suffering panic attacks or emotional outbursts. Fact check every opinion against the lived experience of your comrades and allies, so you can avoid forming a criminal opinion. Scrutinize it cover to cover. Wrongthink, misgendering, dead naming, misinformation, microaggressions. Leave no page unturned.